Whoa, boy, it's Hotline League 19. What a crazy week. I don't know if you guys heard the news, but TSM lost, spoiler alert. And this is the first time ever that they have not proceeded on to the finals, going out in quarterfinals to clutch. What the heck? We're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about so much more. But guess who has finally decided there's enough people to watch to attend the show? Doublelift. Doublelift will be starting or joining the show just a little bit after the start of it. So be sure to stick around for that. So much more is coming up in just a second.
Hotline League is brought to you by Omen by HP.
Well, we got so much to talk about on the show, so I'm going to get straight into the introductions. First off, my constant co-host, the perennial man behind the analyst desk, even as the desk falls apart in front of him. We got Mark Zimmerman on the show. Mark, how's it going? You look really excited for this show.
Yeah. I would say there's a lot to talk about. There's, like you mentioned, the TSM shit. We're going to have our little mini Badawi rant, and then we're going to have Peter on as well. Like, this is the greatest episode we're ever going to do, so we may as well quit after this.
Okay, good. Well, there's some contractual obligations we have to talk about, Mark. Kelby,
I got paid already. I'm good to go.
That's not how it works. Kelby, what's going on with you?
Not much. Very exciting weekend of LCS. Excited to talk to a bunch of people about it.
Yeah.
Especially those who are going to call me out on calling clutch pretenders.
Yeah, I think there's a guy named Shadow, by the way, Mark, that has something he has to talk to Kelby about.
Well, I don't know why he's like isolating Kelby, because I don't think anyone believed in them. But yeah,
well, Kelby specifically,
Kelby specifically, why'd you doubt them?
Kelby specifically called them pretenders at the beginning of the split. I think whatever. It'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a really fun episode. Other than that, so just a quick little bit of jibber jabber here, Mark. I got to watch, because of the way playoffs are, I got to watch the entire, on Saturday at least, the entire opening of the show, which is...
Is that your first time?
Yeah, it's the first time seeing the whole thing.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah. And, well, I have to get to the LCS studio,
awesome,
so
buddy.
there's like a comeline there that makes it difficult. But because I could watch...
Really, it's hard to get 5 minutes away from your house at 2:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday. That's tough to do.
2 o'clock.
No, you have to. We start at 2:30 because the show goes live at 3. You have to be there at 2:30 on a Saturday.
The show goes live at 2, Mark. LCS starts at 2.
I'm on crack, but you get my point. 1:30 then. Whatever. You have to get there at 1:30.
Yeah, the time doesn't really make a difference.
Academy starts at 3.
Well, whatever. You lost. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. You lost all leverage with that one. It's just...
Fuck, you're right.
Anyway, I don't know. It's been a fun week. Kelby, how's Ultra?
Ultra was good, although I miss it streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, streaming on YouTube. I watched a little bit of the Chainsmokers set. I really think that Alex shouldn't sing like everybody says. But Swedish House Mafia, they were teasing the whole time that there was going to be a surprise closing act. I called Swedish House Mafia. It was Swedish House Mafia. They were so sick. They did such a good job.
Yeah. Twitch chat, please let me know how volume
How was
is.
the acid?
By the way.
I don't do acid when I listen to EDM.
Why were you there then?
No, I wasn't there.
When do you do acid?
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were at
done
Ultra, so I was like, how
No.
The Molly, whatever you did.
I went one time. It was insane, but yeah.
Okay,
The Molly or Ultra?
Jin 690 says the constant thing. Whenever Kelby's on the show, he says it's such a douchey thing to wear sunglasses inside.
Wait, yeah.
Everybody always says this. Here's the thing. Like,
Kelby's not
it's
douchey.
part of the
He's just
aesthetic
one
of the
committed-
show. That's the whole
He's the
point.
only one committed to the gag. It's like
Yeah.
Kelby gets blasted because I just lose my glasses every.
Yeah.
Guess what? I don't give a fuck about you.
Okay. Well, this is gonna be
I'm
an
just
interesting
kidding.
show. Yeah.
Your support matters a lot. I don't want to
Some energy this time.
Well, because Peter's ready to come on the show and we've got a couple things to do, I'm going to really quickly talk about a wonderful group of people, a wonderful company that supports the show, makes it happen. Show would not be what it is if it wasn't for these guys. Omen by HP, you guys know them. I've talked about them before. They're a fantastic group of people and company that have come together to support esports. They got into the space a couple of years ago, and they recognize the value of supporting the competitive scene and everything from something like Overwatch League all the way down to Well, a show like this. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, we're in a category of our own.
Yeah, exactly. It's not Overwatch League is what this is. They've hooked me up with some gear to help make some of my other endeavors possible, which is really nice of them. They do some really cool stuff. I don't want to rush through this, but I do want to tell you guys that they have a giveaway right now. They did one whenever we launched. They're doing one, or launched a sponsorship with us. They're doing another one. Time for a refresher. I'll put a link in the Twitch chat. You guys can check it out. And actually, just signing up for that really, really helps me and Mark out. Not really, Kelby's whatever, but me and Mark out because, it helps them see a lot of the value from the show. And, it's nice whenever they see a lot of people are sort of engaging with them. And it's a chance for you guys to win something. It's just a free... Listen, I've tried to do things before, like where I'm just like, go buy a bunch of these things. But whenever I say free stuff, you guys click like crazy. So check it out. It's a full suite of accessories. I will be the one that sends you an email. So there's even that. You get an email from me if you win. It's pretty great. So check it out. If you're watching the YouTube VOD right now, you can click the link down below. It's great. So there you go. Thank you so much to Omen by HP. Now I guess it's kind of awkward. We have this great epic show, and I try to keep the show super positive and about like awesome things and have a fun time with it. But I do want to talk about something. In 2015, for those of you that don't know, there was a guy that came into the space named Chris Badawi, was an owner of a team. And really quickly it became clear to me that this dude was a total sketchball. Like, just a lot of people I trusted said that they had really uncomfortable dealings with him. And, I'm not the type of person who would... I don't know. I don't tend to do very much like investigative stuff, big reports or whatever. But because this guy seemed like such bad news for the league scene, I felt very compelled to look into it. I actually got what I think at the time, like I'd never seen, this guy was so weird. At the time, none of the owners, you couldn't get them to do anything together. Kelby will remember like how hard it was to get the owners to all work together back in the day, right?
Yeah.
However, and me at the time independently going and talking to a ton of the owners in the LCS, they all gave statements. Not all the owners, but the owners that I spoke to, they all gave statements.
Or whatever.
What's that?
At least the big four owners all did, right?
Yep. And a lot of the people at the time thought, I was actually really surprised because the response from the community wasn't, oh, this guy, like, look, all these guys actually believe this. They gave this guy, or at least some people gave him the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, long story short, I left, went and hung out with a friend, was just really overwhelmed, and really did not want to get involved with any of this again because I was so stressed out about it, and sort of the reaction from the community stressed me out. And that even happened when a couple months later, I forget the timeline exactly, he got outed from LCS and was banned for other sketchy things that he had done, which was basically inevitable with this dude. And again, I just didn't get involved in any of it or say anything because I don't like courting controversy. I feel like that was now thinking about this, I think that was a really cowardly thing of me. And because of that, I just want to say, a lot of you guys probably saw the post that came out today from a former player on his team. We won't go into the specifics because it's a really personal thing, but it came as no surprise to me. These are the types of things I'd heard about following all this stuff, and I really believe that. Following that thread of conversation from that player, Badawi has now made a post on the subreddit sort of trying to tell his side of the story. I cannot tell you guys how much of a weird, lying, conniving con artist this guy is. And it was really disappointing to me that when somebody finally came out and told sort of the story, that so many believe the other dude's side of this. People give him the benefit of the doubt. This is one thing this guy did, among so many sketchy things. This dude does not deserve to be in the League of Legends esports ecosystem. I am so happy he is gone. I cannot say enough about how no one should believe anything he's saying. He just lied all the time.
So what I'll say is, like, everyone likes to say there's two sides to every story and then the truth lies somewhere in the middle, but you cannot take someone's side of the story at face value when this guy has consistently lied and has done it basically in a provable way. There was an AMA he did where he got called out and his story constantly shifted from like what he was and what he did. And they always, like, he eventually got it to a point where it's so up in the air no one knows, but like overnight he was having this argument and had to keep editing his answers in this AMA about how he said he was a lawyer, then he said he was a patent litigator, then he said he never passed, or he passed the bar but never passed the character fitness thing, so he never like became a real lawyer, but he still did the stuff that he said he did. And like it just went down this rabbit hole of back and forth stuff. And this is on top of the fact that, like, I was there when he first made his way into the scene. He came up under Team Liquid because he wanted to get involved in the esports scene. And Steve Liquid Aronstedt, who is a great guy, everyone will vouch for Steve for the most part, wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, teach him like what he knows about esports so that he could hopefully have another nice guy in the scene, and then burn that bridge horribly, including like with everyone in the org, Joka Steve, myself. I was mostly in the game focused stuff, so I didn't have as many interactions with him, but like everyone stopped liking this guy, and like not just like disliked him, but actively disliked him, wanted him out of the scene, to the point where we finally got him out of the scene. But like there's no reason to take his post on Reddit at face value. So it's not a two sides of the story thing. It's like this guy is a notorious liar. And so I don't know what's true. And I'm not saying, you know, believe Maria 100% of the way either, Ramilia, whatever. I'm not saying believe her 100% either, but don't accept this guy's explanation. There's no reason to. He's known. He's a proven liar. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
And it's sad because people were not here in season 5. A lot of people in the league scene, people don't know this, but there's a ton of churn. There's a ton of turnover on Reddit. And so a lot of people are accepting this guy's explanation at face value. A lot of new league fans don't know his history, so it's hard to get angry at them. But it is very upsetting for people who have been here in his entire history in the scene and seeing people be like, oh yeah, this is kind of understandable, when it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah. There was somebody in the Twitch chat a second ago who said that my bias is showing. Look, all I can say is the only people I know that defend this guy are the people that had business dealings with him. I have never had a business dealing with Riot or the other owners or this guy at all. I don't know how more of an independent person you want in this situation. I have a pretty strong bias sometimes around Doublelift. Doublelift not involved in this at all. So I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I'm about as third party as you're going to get to this situation. But fuck this guy, and I never want to see him again in the scene.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not saying you have to believe Ramilia's side of the story 100% either. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying the Chris Badawi getting #1 on the subreddit and lots of people taking his side is kind of insane.
Yeah.
If you know his story.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry that we had to talk about that on the show. I had to get off my chest.
No comments on it the rest of the way.
Yeah. I'm not interested in taking calls. It's a complicated situation. That's not what this show is about. And I apologize if that's something you guys want to discuss, but it's just, especially given the sensitive nature of some of the finer points of all this stuff, I really don't think a call-on show is the place to do it. And if that's what you guys want to watch, I completely understand if you guys leave now. That being said, we are going to get into some really cool stuff and some stuff that is worth talking about. Some crazy stuff happened with TSM losing this weekend. Clutch is now going through. How much can people believe in them? I think it's going to be really interesting. So please stick around. We're now going to switch over to having Peter on the show. And so I'm going to add him to the call here. We're going to go to the single slate now as Doublelift joins us.
Is he on Discord somewhere, Kelby?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me check. Oh, I have 9+ messages.
From Peter?
No, 0 from Peter.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey,
nice.
there he
Oh,
is.
you're
Oh.
wearing the glasses.
Hey, he's got the color down.
Okay.
Wait, I can't hear shit. One sec. Calling you guys.
No, you can't hear us because we're all muted on Skype.
What the?
Where's the
Why are
echo
you muted
coming
on Skype?
from? Just show
I'm
this
not
on
muted
the
on
phone.
Skype anymore, Travis, because I'm explaining to Peter that we're all on Discord. So he
Why?
needs to join the Discord.
Why am I?
Oh, really?
Why are you echoing?
All right, I'm
Mark?
coming. I'm gonna mute myself.
Because he turned... Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Good call. I see. All right, sorry guys. There's a bit of a technical issue as we pull Peter onto the show. So just please bear with us. I have to we don't have a producer for the show. It's actually kind of
Wait, guys,
complicated
what?
producers.
Wait, what Discord? It's not United Kelby Nation.
I'm posting it in Skype.
I DM'd him. You can tell him I DM'd
I got
him
it.
the link.
Yeah, and then just join one of the voice channels so I can drag you into the on-air one.
I love that the
One of the voice
chat,
channels.
the show just has to deal
I
with.
can only go to General 2.
Yeah, go to general.
That's fine.
That's fine. We'll add you. Don't
All
worry.
right, there we go.
Welcome.
Hello.
Mark, you can mute
Hello.
yourself now. It's so funny. Sorry,
Damien got
guys.
me dressed up.
We're almost
what I'm
done. Yeah, you look great. And in a second, everyone is going to see you on screen. And then they will all know how great you look, too. It just takes a second.
I'm just here, in my HyperX headset, drinking my Monster Energy
Oh man, you're doing well right now, Peter.
at
Good
the
job.
Alienware training facility on my Aurora PC.
Can you slurp that into the microphone again just so I can hear how good Monster sounds to drink?
Peter, what flavor are you drinking there? That looks like an ultra white to me.
Oh well, just my favorite.
Oh.
Now that you've asked, now that you mentioned it, yeah, it's just my favorite flavor is Zero Ultra White.
Yeah.
There we go.
So what are
I'm
we talking about, guys?
I'm a ultra red fan myself, but ultra white's my second favorite of the zero.
I don't know if there's a Monster flavor I don't like.
Mark,
Does
you were
anyone have a flavor they don't like?
I hope I'm getting some sort of compensation for this ad. I don't.
I'm going rogue, Travis. I'm trying to get my own deals. Fuck
Yeah,
this shit.
that's what I could tell. I could
I
tell.
just want free energy drinks.
Yeah. All right. So Peter, how's it going?
It's good. We just finished team stuff, practice, and review. So I'm tired. When is this show over?
Well,
That's a good way to start out.
glad to have you here, man. I could tell that you're really excited to be here. How are
I already
scrims
got
going?
this-
Hotline League resident sleeper.
Oh.
Beyond the Rift Poggers.
How's how are scrims going?
Pretty good, I think. It's our first day.
You mean you scrimmed last week? Hopefully.
Oh yeah. It's going fine. I don't know how to really gauge because winning and losing isn't a measure of success. So I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
it's going good.
I mean, Mark loves to talk about how scrims are basically useless to.
Yeah,
to
scrims
gauge.
are completely useless.
Wait, when do I say scrims are useless?
You say that all the time.
No, to indicate results for LCS. Not
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was like, what?
Practice worthless.
Fucking get out there, play some DBZ Fighter, especially on game day. Warm up with that.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
So I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of calls about it, and hopefully they don't become all of our calls. I'm sure Mark will do a good job of mitigating it. But
Yeah.
everyone, I'm sure, will be curious about your take on the TSM thing. If it was surprising to you, what the takeaways are in your opinion. I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah. You're referencing the fact that they signed Red Bull and not Monster?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Hopefully not all the questions.
Yes. But what did you think of them losing this week?
Pretty nuts. Don't think anyone expected it. Riot already asked me this question in the future, but I don't even think Clutch expected to win. They
No.
probably came in, they're like, we can win, and then they're just shitting their pants when they started winning.
I bumped into D-Lim, most of their coaching staff, Solo, and a couple other players, and I was like, so what did you guys think was going to happen? And they were all like, we didn't think we would win.
Yeah.
Clutch
It-
thought they were pretenders themselves.
They just they said they got smashed in scrims all week. They had not much confidence going out there, and they tried their best. And obviously they have good mental fortitude to get rolled in game 1 and get double killed underneath their turret at 3 minutes in game 2 and still win that game. But they weren't going in there yeah, guys, we got this. Here we go.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you tweet, by the way, Nick? Or I don't know. I said Nick. Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, go for
It's coming out right now.
I'm just gonna retweet your tweet. Yeah, I just think it is funny. So I posted an interview with Steve today from Saturday, and Steve was basically saying, you can take the glasses off if you can't see, Peter, if you can't tell. Steve was basically saying,
Good
oh
point.
yeah, we'd love to play Clutch. We think they're the weakest team, and my YouTube channel is blowing him up for saying this. And I'm like, what? Everyone thought they were the weakest team. No one can should be faulting anybody.
Yeah,
Like that's the David and
yeah.
Goliath story. Like acting like they didn't have all the odds against them, or at least everyone expected them to lose, is unfair.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's the thing I don't like about it is it's like it's diminishing what they did by being like, haha, like see they were good, and it's like no, that's why it's crazy. It's like you didn't have a reason to believe in them, and
Yeah.
like all these people who are gonna call in and say that like we called it at the start of the season. It's like yeah, but did you call it a week ago when
Yeah.
they drew TSM?
Yeah.
Like if you didn't call it then it doesn't count.
Yeah. And you need proof of it.
Jesus.
By the way, so Peter, this means that you guys will now play Echo Fox instead of who everybody thought you were going to play, which was 100 Thieves. Are you happy with that result, or what does that mean for you?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think between the two, they're pretty similar, but the finals would be cooler this way since we get to either play Clutch, Clutch Prime in the finals. Make me eat my words, or 100 Thieves, and me and Afra can play against each other in the finals. Also, Cody-san and Ole, so that'd be cool.
Yeah. Cody's son coming in as the number 1 AD carry in North America, Peter. So
Yeah,
this
he's
is your
fucking
chance
beast.
this is your chance to show him up.
Jesus, dude! Every single year, this All Pro thing gives me. I mean, to be fair, I was the All Pro like first team like 4 years in a row, or some shit. So I guess I can't complain that it's stupid, but it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reddit was blowing up a little bit in the thread with the thing for voting for Biofrost and not voting for Aphromu.
I voted
For
for
what?
Biofrost.
Yes.
I must have misclicked.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
the?
It was like
I
a pity
can't-
vote,
These awards are so dumb. I wish people would just get the right thing and then oh wait, what I vote for?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just weird that like there's just a voting thing where the players decide like how do I tell who's good? It's really hard
What?
because I'm not.
When I was
you
talking
play
to
it.
you about this stuff, I said people think Aphromu is good, and you said, yeah, but I play against people, or I play against these guys in lane, like I should know. And now you're saying, how are players supposed to know how good everyone is?
It's hard, dude. I don't want to be the guy who's choosing stuff. It's too much responsibility. I just kind of picked at random, to be honest.
No.
Not random, but like I mean, I just thought about it for like probably 5 seconds on each answer.
Right. You weren't like, let me go look their stats up, right?
Yeah, no, I just airballed it. I winged it.
Well,
And airballed it at the same
at least
time.
this episode's gonna get a lot of views on the VOD. I'm excited about that. Like
Well, let me ask you this, Doublelift. Do you think players shouldn't vote? Like, you would say the average player probably did what you did, right? Like, where they're just like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I just want to get it over with. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna troll vote, but I'm just gonna vote without.
do you
thinking too
think
much.
so? You voted, but do you think every player votes themselves, or do you think some of these guys have other people do it for them?
No, I think it's them doing it.
Okay.
Like I think it's really them doing it, but they probably don't put in full effort. Like I remember people were giving Song shit for his votes, and he's just like, why would Song care what people think about his all pro team votes?
Can you turn your webcam back on, Peter? We're getting a very different picture of you. People are gonna think
Really?
people are gonna think I put this in. We're gonna think I put this in, but it's actually your Skype picture. Just to be
Am
clear,
I cute?
it's the one where
Yeah,
your
yeah,
hair
but-
is way up.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm back, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
you're
back.
back. Yeah, that's great. Well, boy, we're
But you
already
know,
off to
you-
such a great start.
You still want players to get a voice, right? Like, it's better than not getting a vote and just like having it completely done by coaches and third party people. Or do you think players shouldn't get a vote?
I think the all pro vote is just kind of meaningless.
Yeah.
Maybe MVP kind of means something because it's like, who does everyone think is good? I don't know. All pro is just too many people. It's like 15 people.
I mean, but
Are
also,
winning.
well, it's not 50. It's like 10 players, 10 coaches, right? Oh wait, you're saying winning. I see
Well,
what you're saying with
total-
5.
Right.
I thought you were talking about the voting. Okay, sorry, I misunderstood. I feel like you guys often disagree with the casters, though, and the casters and analysts make up the largest amount, I believe, after the pros. So, do you want all the casters and analysts basically being responsible for picking? Because you guys often say like, "Oh, they're always hyping up this player, but that player shit," or "Oh, like it's so stupid that they think this is the case."
There'll always be people who disagree. So I think the casters and analysts have gotten smarter over the years. It used to be like Freak, and now it's better than that. So I think it's it's gotten better. You know, it's Mark and Jad and Dash. I think you guys are good.
Okay.
Hey,
I trust you guys.
If I wasn't on this show right now, would you have said that?
The part about Freak or the part about you guys being
The,
good?
the part about us being good.
He definitely
Is that
was-
just-
Yeah, I think you
I'm
guys are good.
seeing the
I've
same-
only watched a few segments, but I think you guys are good and entertaining.
All right.
And handsome.
Oh boy,
Well
Keep it coming.
endowed.
this is getting intense. Okay, I'm gonna put this to the test really quickly before we take our first call, and I'm gonna look at Mark's votes and ask Peter if he agrees with all
Oh
of
god,
them.
you piece of shit. All right, let's do it.
Okay, so for first and for
Well,
top.
No, what? Start with 80 carry. Start with 80
No.
carry.
Well,
Let's get this out of the
so
way.
Hooney for top. Peter, agree, disagree.
Agreed.
Dardock, jungle.
No.
Bjergsen, mid.
Yeah.
Sven, ADC.
Yeah.
Really? Over Doublelift? Peter Pang?
Whatever. I don't care. I don't think I played well in the regular season. My team was garbage.
Aframu for support.
Okay, sure.
Sure? When I talked to
Sure.
you, okay, so to be clear, you
Wait.
did not...
What was Doublelift's first for support?
His support picks were Biofrost,
Probably.
Mithy, and Smoothie.
Yeah, probably those three.
I mean,
I don't
that's
okay,
know what order
so-
I put them in. But...
So you were fine with Biofrost, Smithy, and Smoothie. Mark picked somebody that wasn't even in your top 4, and you're okay with it.
I mean, you can make an argument for any of them.
Okay.
Well, I also put Hakuho, and he didn't have him in there. I
Yeah,
put
you didn't
Hakuho
have him.
13 for me.
Yeah.
I think.
Wow. That's spicy.
Got that one right.
You
I
got
mean,
that
it's,
one.
it's hard to say Hako doesn't deserve it after this past week. Top, then Mark went Flame, Meteos, Jensen, Cody Sun, and Smoothie. Are those okay?
Mm,
I'm interested about your thoughts on Flame.
I don't really feel anything when I play against Flame, to be honest. I feel like it's really polarizing. So half the people think Flame is terrible, and half the people think he's really good, but on a bad team. I am gonna not say anything. I think he's a nice guy.
Okay.
So you're
You
in
did-
the terrible camp.
Well, Peter bumped into him last night, getting boba, and he was so nice. He hugged Peter and all that stuff. I think that's what's saving him, Flame from Flame. Are you okay with Cody Sun as Mark's number 2 for ADC?
Yeah, dude. I think because there's like almost a 6-way tie. We were like really close to having a 6-way tie for first.
Yeah.
Then it seems like you can make an argument for any of the top 6 teams like having the best player, or like they're being held back, or they're the reason why their team isn't there in the first place. And I don't really care. Like I don't feel like regular season means anything anyway. So getting an award for doing well in the regular season is like getting a gold star or something.
What if you got MVP? Would you be happy?
I'd be happy if I got MVP.
Because
That means I
you've told
played
me in
well
the
whole
past you
split.
felt like MVP got stolen. You got robbed. At
Yeah,
some
I got
point.
fucking robbed when Rush won it that one time, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
why did Rush win it? Like, what the fuck did Rush do? Play Lee Sin, not make playoffs? It's just like, what?
Yeah, he made playoffs that split.
Whatever. I was
Yeah.
so good then. And what? There's so many splits where I was so good and I didn't get it. I was so good.
I mean, that was the first.
See, this is the-
that was the split they won their first championship. So like, I can.
This is the great dichotomy
Still
of Peter.
salty
It's
that
like,
way.
I don't really care. Regular split doesn't matter. Whatever.
No, regular split
Why did
doesn't
Rush get it?
But I was popping off. You know, even if it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Anyway, we can just move on. Mark, and we start taking callers. Mark, do you want to do the spiel?
Sure, Sneaky was my third team. Doublelift wasn't on my list. I thought that's why you were doing all of that.
Oh, that's fine.
I
Yeah.
thought Travis was trying to set up to that.
No, I figured
Just-
Peter would. Peter strangely is like okay. He'll flame other people, but he doesn't care if people rank him low.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
My team was like, well, we ended up 4th place, so.
Yeah.
What can you say?
Yeah. Anyways, so if this is your first time watching, got a lot of people in here tonight. The way this works is it's a live call-in show. So we have a Discord, posting it now in the Twitch chat. You're gonna want to join that Discord, and then you are gonna see that there's a general voice channel and general 2. You're gonna need to join one of those voice channels, and then in the general text channel, you're gonna post your take. So usually we don't want questions just like, and with Doublelift as the guest, it's okay to have more questions, but we like things like, I think TL is going to lose to whoever, I think TL is going to win. TSM losing was great. I like whatever your thoughts are, you know, we want your thoughts as the viewer, as the person who's watching the LCS all the time.
And by the
I'm
way,
gonna start calling people and try not to spam too much. All right.
if you subscribe, you do get access to the subscriber chat, which we tend to check there as well. It gives you kind of better odds of getting noticed. And if you do sub, just give it a little bit because Discord takes a bit to sync with Twitch and blah blah blah. So that is the spiel. While Mark scouts out people with their questions. Oh, please do not spam. Like, Mark will be less likely to take your question if you just spam it 3 or 4 times. Like, and then we will try to activate a mod to like kill you. All right.
Yeah, I don't know how to mod Discord, but I'll figure it out.
I'm adding Shadow to the waiting room because he's got a.
Pororo Satan apparently has said the same thing too. Does anyone remember? I remember Pororo Satan calling in.
Yeah, I don't.
He claims to have called it in the preseason.
Okay, well we'll talk to a couple people that can brag. Shadow as well, and then. Oh yeah, so really quickly, let me give a shout out to some folks who have supported the show in the past hour or so. So shout out to an Ivysaur, Meddling Kids, Nilly K, Arrogant One, Desliant Knight, Desolate Knight again, All Hail the Based God, Tasty Turtles, AllNet 138, Ready Bobo, SM Dennis, Dafu, I am the 4th Hokage, I think that's how it's pronounced, Polish, The Gaming Orange, Real Foxy, who gifted a sub to Mark, who has now been a sub of this channel for 5 months. And
Did I get gifted one last week as well?
I don't know. But at this point in time, you're up there. I don't think you've paid a dime, but you've been supporting this show forever, Mark. Thank you so much.
I just love your content, Travis.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Flozatron, Brandinian, and Mist K, and Gabriel Lau, 23. So we got people lined up, Mark?
Yeah, we got some. You want me to start grabbing them?
Yep. Peter, it's your time to enjoy the unwashed masses. Everyone who's ever wanted to say something to you now has a chance.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let me add him.
If you guys haven't seen it yet, I'd go check out my Twitter, where you can watch Peter blow up me and Kelby's boat. It's very, very. He sunk it. He sunk our boat. Oh, sounds like somebody's joined the channel based on that giggle. We got Shadow here. Shadow, where are you calling from?
Hey, Houston, Texas, right here. Clutch Gaming, just Houston. Won. Calby, you suck at predicting.
He's straight into it. All right, so wow. Shadow, for those that were not, quickly, Shadow, for those that did not catch the previous episode where you were on, maybe towards the start of the split, can you tell a little bit about how this went?
Yeah, I was just saying that Clutch is a team that's slept on, that has a potential of going really far in the playoffs. But then Kelby said they were pretenders and not contenders, but now that he's been proven wrong, it's whatever. It's good for us.
Yeah.
And it's good for the whole NALCS that TSM's out.
Were you the one that said that did you? I remember somebody was talking about how they went to Clutch events in Houston and like fan meets. Was that you?
Oh no, that's not me. I want to go, but I'm not trying to make the drive because Houston's pretty big,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not me.
Kelby,
but I also think
go ahead.
Clutch did really good. I think they did beyond their expectations, and Lyra was playing really excellent throughout the 5 games or the 4 games that they played. So that's why they won, I think, because Lyra stepped up for the final.
Okay, before we get to the Lyra thing, Kelby, do you have a rebuttal? Anything you want to say here?
No, I mean, I agree. I watched the games, and I think that Clutch just, they really, really impressed me, especially since, if what we've heard is true, they got bodied all week in scrims, they probably didn't go in with a lot of confidence, We've been in that situation before, Peter. It's hard to go up on stage, lose first game against a team that has looked really good at the end of the season, and then, get your bot lane dove in at tower in 3 minutes, and then regardless of picks or whatever, you just man up and you win the next 3 games. It's not easy. So it was really was really impressive. Like a lot of people are going to say that TSM shit the bed, but obviously you got to give some respect to Clutch.
Yeah.
I don't know if their social media accounts any better, but the team is performing.
Oh yeah,
It's better a little bit.
Oh,
They
it is
tweeted
okay.
out my interview
I stopped
today.
following them, so
They tweeted out my interview today with Reggie, and they were kind of giving flame to Reggie because Reggie said that Clutch was going to get stomped on, like at the start of the split. But then they didn't tag me, so they gained a point, but they lost a point in my eyes. Mark, with what do you think of Shadow's assertion that it was really Lyra that really carried it? Because he didn't get that much attention.
Well, he wasn't.
He didn't carry it, but like he just stepped up where it needed to be.
Yeah.
Well,
He
yeah,
needed
'cause
to.
I think a lot of people looking at that matchup were like, "Oh god, the way that TSM wins, or excuse me, Clutch wins this is probably if Lyra can get the better of Mike Young," which I would say he did over the course of the series. That was back and forth at points, but I think obviously Hakuho is probably the guy who everyone is obviously going to say had the biggest influence. Shadow, did you post anywhere publicly that you're like Clutch Gaming wins this 3-2 or whatever?
No, I didn't do that. I'm not really on Twitter that much, or like
Or
Instagram.
Reddit, or
No, Reddit. I was just saying that someone
Facebook.
should be rookie of the split and all that stuff. I was just talking smack a lot.
He came on a live broadcasted show.
yeah.
What
Before
do
they
you
did
want?
the matchup, before he had to predict them to beat TSM.
Yeah.
Doublelift, how do you feel about people coming out of the woodworks and like throwing back what you said in your face when they didn't have to have this? Because you're someone who talks a lot of shit, and then sometimes it comes back to like come at you.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's good when you shit talk right before a match and like you put something on the line. I think like Kevin's is hella funny, and it's really good because if he won, he would have looked like a fucking a maniac. But now he just looks really embarrassed or whatever, and looks like too cocky, arrogant, like full of himself. But that's the kind of stuff I like because if you talk shit on someone after a match like Jensen did, we're like, hey, thought Team Liquid was supposed to be good. Like he's just waiting to win. He's like, okay, if I win, I'm gonna shit talk him. If I lose, I'm not gonna say anything. I say, sorry guys, we go next game. It's like, well, like that's so lame. You're not opening yourself up to being possibly wrong. So, I respect that you went on and defended Clutch live.
Yeah, I hope
and then
Team
you were
Liquid
right.
wins
Like,
the split though, because
Oh,
y'all
thank
would
you.
do best at MSI. I'm
oh
thinking
shit,
honestly.
let's go.
Yeah, I just been thinking
I'm
about
a
it,
little
like
stuck right now.
who should go to MSI, and I'm thinking Team Liquid could do it.
Thank you. I hope so,
Peter,
too.
how much? Because everybody's congratulating Clutch. How much do you think TSM underperformed? Do you think that was the same TSM we saw? Because Gabe,
No.
my roommate,
Oh
came
my
in and was
God.
like, "That's the same TSM we saw all split long."
Just so stupid. You think Sven and Mithy would? I think Sven as a player, just solo by himself. If he didn't have an off series, they would have won. Like,
Yeah.
but it was also Sven and Mithy and Hanser. All three of them had a really off series, and their coach had like a no brain that day or something. And I think part of it is like when you're TSM and you're and you probably think you're expected to win, maybe like subconsciously, and then you lose the game. Especially after that game, the one where they dove ball lane on tower at like 3 minutes, and they're so far ahead. I bet what they were thinking was, oh, that was just a fluke. Like, we just do the same shit next game, we're gonna win. That was just a fluke. We should have won. Like, easy. So you go into the next game thinking, okay, we just do the same thing. No adjustments, no like real changes except don't throw. And then they lost that game, and I think after that they probably got tilted. They probably made like some really dumb decisions, like another fluke. Thresh is not that good. Let's play against it. We'll pick it up. And then people were like, well, why didn't you ban Thresh? But it was like, I can see where the logic was.
Yeah, they picked
Also, they're
Morgana,
probably
right?
fucking just really tilted because they're losing to Clutch. So
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Everyone was like, they should have banned Thresh, but they had, because Clutch was going to take it first. I was saying Clutch was probably going to take it first rotation if it's not banned, but then on red side, you have to ban it as one of your first 3 bans, which is not like a meta thing to do, and you would really only do that if it was really fucking you in the series. So, like, I don't know how closely you were watching, but if you were one of the people playing, if you were Sven and you just died 6 times in the previous game, would you have been like, ban that shit?
Nah, I still wouldn't ban Thresh. I never
What
do
about Doublelift?
if oh man, it depends on your players.
I just love how Shadow's
would-
like, I wouldn't ban.
I would. No,
You just gotta dodge.
I think I would tell my team to do it. Yeah, I think I'm like, I can open up about my insecurities a little bit better now than before. But I can see like Sven, he's probably one of the players that's like, fuck, I just played like shit. I need to redeem myself. It's okay. Thresh is not that good. Like I was just playing bad. I'll play better next game. But like for me, it's like if I'm having a bad series, I'll just tell my team, I'm not playing well against this champion. We need to ban it. Like I want to ban it. So that's just there's a difference in mentality, you know. That's it.
Yeah. All right, Shadow. Anything else you want to? What's you said you're predicting? Are you predicting TL to win?
Yeah, TL's probably gonna win. Honestly.
And then they're gonna go to.
Let's go Liquid.
Unless 100 Thieves like goes crazy, because they could go crazy, but
Wait, well, what about Clutch versus 100 Thieves?
I like Clutch, but I just don't think they'll win. Like they did good.
So Shadow, you think Clutch are pretenders?
No, like they shouldn't have beat TSM, but that was just crazy that they did. So I just want to laugh
so
at Kelby
okay.
But still,
I like it, dude. I
But
like your
honestly-
predictions because honestly, you're right on the Clutch thing. And then you're gonna be right on the next prediction about us. So.
But he didn't.
Yeah.
Predict
I like
Clutch.
this guy.
That's awesome.
He didn't even predict them versus TSM. He said.
no, they were supposed to lose.
This guy's
He was
great.
right all along.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, I
guys,
love it.
thank
I
you
love
guys
it.
for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks so
feel
much,
really
Shadow, for
exposed
coming
right
on.
now.
Really appreciate it. By
All
the
right,
way,
no problem.
shout out to Kobe, who is in the Twitch chat right now. Kobe, if you want to call in. He says he's got a real question for Double. Okay. Join the Discord. You can talk to Mark. We'll,
Yeah, I'll get him. How about this? I'll grab Pororo Satan, who has the same kind of like clutch thing, and so
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
ask him a couple of the same questions.
Okay, cool. While we do that, want to give a shout out to Miss K, Raldios, AJ Hockey 4 months, who says somehow I keep forgetting to cancel this. That's what I count on. Real Foxy gifted a sub to League of Emily, and Forceful Lunge for the sub. Thank you everyone for supporting. Appreciate it.
Peter, can I ask you a question, which is kind of just like an iterative point on something that you said on the last conversation?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm curious about mentality. So like the way that like we used to do it back in the day, I don't know if like your philosophy is different or like the team's philosophy is different. Is now it's like when we would go into series and stuff, you practice things and you practice comps and lineups and stuff going into a series, right? And you have things that you're comfortable with. If you come across a situation like TSM did with Hakuo on Thresh, where maybe it forces you to do something that you haven't practiced a bunch, I guess it kind of probably depends on the degree to which it's messing you up. But do you feel like now you like teams or you guys more in general are still wanting to stick to what you play and what you know, and like you want to be comfortable with what you're playing on stage, or do you feel like you need to adapt, especially if something is messing you up like that?
I think back in the day we didn't have coaches, so
Right.
the player that was most affected by it would be like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do. Like I'm getting fucked. I want to ban it. But now I think the coach is kind of more responsible for that. It's like the coach is the one to decide like, is my player mentally able to deal with this new thing, or like do we switch it up? So yeah, I mean I don't want to flame Song, but like I think it was just his responsibility to be like, I don't think you can play against us for a third time. Like you had 2 chances. Let's just ban it.
Okay, gotcha.
Back in the day, though, like you're right. That's exactly how we did. We were like, oh, well, I don't want to do this shit, or like I do want to do it.
Yeah, that was the thing, and why I think the coaches were unique. Because more often than not, a player I think would be like, no, we're fine. Like it's not that good because you have that idea like Thresh isn't a priority pick in the meta, and like like I'm not that bad, so like let me play against it again. But you need the coach to be like, no, I don't want to risk it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
We have Pororo. Satan
Yeah,
here,
Poro
too.
Satan. Do you say Pororo? Poro.
Do whatever, dude. I'm
It's the
drunk.
It's the thing from League of Legends. Poro Satan is in the call. Where are you calling from, Poro Satan?
I'm calling from Syracuse, New York.
Syracuse, New York. So you also were a Clutch believer.
Yes, but it's not fully, and I thought that Clutch was going to do well. I expected TSM to implode, as it's kind of just customary for them at this point.
What do you mean customary? I mean, they've made every NALCS final.
They have, but I don't think they were actually changing up how the current roster was playing to prepare. If you look at Sven and Mithy when they were in Europe, and I am a huge fan of G2, Perks would roam down to feed Sven, where when Bjergsen roams, it's to feed Bjergsen. They just do not work well together.
Interesting. Didn't they play really well towards the end of the season?
Yeah, both Bjerg and Sven were like 22, 3, and 20 in their last like 6 games or something, or 4 games. They had both Sven and him had monstrous stat lines.
I mean, I don't want people to take it as me saying, oh, like they're horrible now, because obviously they're still pros, they're good at the game, but I don't think that this team was in any way prepared going into this. And maybe it's because of the write-off. I mean, I would definitely say that no one was expecting Hakuo to be that good on Thresh. I would say after the second game, though, they should have banned it.
Yeah, I feel like this is just a nutty upset. I don't think anyone, if you had to put $1,000 on who's gonna win that match, and you had like a fucking not a time machine, but you go back, I don't think anyone would actually put money on Clutch winning.
I actually did put money on Clutch winning.
Holy
Hey,
shit, those are the odds. Let's go.
How much
Alright.
money and what were the returns?
I
I'm interested
put
in that.
$30 on them, and I made back 140.
Jesus, it was
Alright.
5-1 odds. That's actually better than I expected for Clutch.
Jeez.
And I just was not expecting Sven and Mithy to do well. I still think that they're good players, but I think they just play too passive for NA. Like, I know that Thresh is not super meta, but I think it's too aggressive than they're used to based on what they see in EU.
Kind of following up on that idea, Doublelift, a lot of people have talked about like the less carry potential in the game right now, and I think it's definitely down, but like how often do you feel like a player is just like on fire for a day or something where it's like I think people like Hakuho was playing better than average. He was like out of his mind with his hooks.
Yeah.
So like how often do you feel like you feel that playing, or like either it's a teammate or the guy you're playing against where you're just like, holy shit, this guy's actually playing better today than he has ever played or something like that?
It actually usually happens with my team. It's so weird. Like for Impact and Jake, or Xmithy especially, I'll just be playing with Impact, and there was like that Shen game where we're getting roasted in practice. Like I think we just getting dominated like in LCS and in practice, and then Impact just was like, first time Shen, by the way, like I got banned out. I need to play something new. Let's just pick Shen. Never practiced it before. He first time on stage in like 2 months, and then he just like basically 1v5 the game. And then at that point, I was like, this is probably the first time in a long time I feel like I'm just getting carried by someone who's like in the zone. And then I guess after that, we all started having our moments. I never feel like I'm playing against someone who's like untouchable though, except for at Worlds. Yeah, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting just because I feel like it's something that people don't talk about. It's hard to talk about in a best of one too, but like on a day when someone's just like hot, someone's in the zone, like you said, you talk about it in basketball all the time, like someone's locked in, but I feel like we don't talk about it very much in League because it's very rare that someone gets the same champ 3 times in a row and shits on 3 games in a row.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I jack myself off too much here, but I think usually in playoffs, I get in the zone during a set a lot of the time.
I mean,
God, I'm
Peter,
so
yeah,
good, man.
you
I don't
didn't
think
die in
that's
his
jacking yourself off.
games on Saturday, right?
8 inches, by the way.
I mean, I would say, would you say you were in the zone for your, like, because we're talking all about the TSM series, like you guys 3-0'd, but it wasn't convincing, and you had like the highest damage numbers by far, and a lot of the games were like you headshotting Jensen over a wall to like stall out a Baron. Like, did you feel like you were on fire on Saturday?
Yeah, I felt pretty nuts. Also, I think like my teammates were kind of like, people are gonna flame Ole or maybe even Eugene or Pobelter for like dying randomly, but that could have easily been me. It's like they're kind of like playing risky. They're playing in a way where they could get caught if there's any small mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like before I would be the person in that position where it's like I'm putting myself in a risky spot to get farm or to like poke my head out, like possibly look for a kill, and like they're the ones doing that. So I was like so in the zone because I feel like the team just plays around me a lot better on Team Liquid. It's like everyone's willing to take risks to help me. So it's like World CLG, you know, like Link, he's on Lulu duty and he knows his. No, I'm just kidding. It's just it's just like a really different dynamic than I'm used to. So I felt in the zone because I felt like my team was really supporting me. I guess that helps a lot. I think Hakuo must have felt the same. He's like, my team's really like ready to play with my Thresh because they all believe in me right now.
I also think the teams are a lot closer together than anyone was giving them credit for. I think that's part of why I was angry with the analyst desk, because we had this idea that basically Cloud9, Team Liquid, TSM, they were going to be the best teams, and that was just it. And we didn't expect any of the new orgs to do anything, although they all for the most part, had veteran players.
Kobe's
Kobe's
in Twitch chat. He's trying to get the Discord link really bad. Like,
No, he said
Nightbot
he's
tweets.
in Discord
Just
and he's
click it.
chilling with people, but I don't know what his name is.
Okay, yeah, he needs to tell us.
I don't
Sorry,
see
continue
Kobe here.
continue to Shadow's question, and then we'll probably have to move on. To
So
the
I
next
guess my
question.
question would be like, at what part? Because I think definitely at the beginning of the season, that's true. Like we had, no one had Echo Fox, no one had Clutch, no one had 100 Thieves really high up. I think like the highest like fourth or maybe even third, but I don't remember specifically anyone saying that. So that's definitely fair to say. But by the time playoffs and stuff rolled around, I think the story, like even week 1, I was like, fuck, I was so wrong about Echo Fox.
Well, for example, the fact that people, and not just you guys, but the community at large, still views Altec as just basically a second-tier ADC.
Wait, Doublelift, what do you think?
Altec's pretty bad. If you played against him, you would.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like it's fine to criticize us for being wrong about the new teams, but like the Altec point is like I don't even know how you can argue that anymore after the collapse in the second half of the season.
Well, that's where I'm just a little confused though, because how do we say that Altec is bad, but then everyone who's on TSM is supposed to be good, but they keep choking immensely?
Well, the difference is a bunch of those guys have been to Worlds and won things, and Altec hasn't won shit.
But then why would you guys? How would you explain TSM then?
They had one bad series. I don't think that was their true skill level at all. And they had a bad series at the exact same time that Clutch had a really insane series. I think if they played a best of 100, TSM would definitely win.
I think that would be fair, and I would also add that I think it's good that the league in NA is actually starting to get good for once, and this is part of why I give the pushback in saying the other teams are bad, because I would either say that TSM will not make finals again in spring, or they will go to semifinals at Worlds. One of the two will happen.
That's pretty bold.
Oh, I see 2 Kobe's. All right, I see the Kobe.
What's that? How do you know which one is the right one?
Oh, I
Damn,
was the
that
one
is-
with the screenshot.
Well,
That is
I
real
you
boomer
should,
bust
you
for
should double
TSM.
check. By the way, I messaged him and tried to ask him what we did today to see because I saw him today. It's a test. Whatever. Either way.
I'm gonna voice check him.
Okay, cool. I think Poro's saying that we need to move on to the next caller. Mark's
Last
gonna
question
go.
for Poro Satan. Are you gonna put money down for Clutch versus 100 Thieves, or you flip flopping too? Previous guy flip flopped.
Considering that Clutch was carried by their support, and I think Afromu is probably the best support right now, I would go 100 Thieves.
Cool.
Wait, slow mode is too slow. How do I change slow modes?
You can set it somewhere, but you're bad at.
I'm
Twitch.
terrible at it. Mods, if you can set like a slower slow mode, that would be, or like a.
Dude, let him spam. It's
A
Twitch
faster
chat.
slow mode?
Why you
We
want
have
Twitch not to
Discord.
spam, dude?
All right, Poro Satan, thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, dude.
Thanks.
man.
Doublelift, what's your favorite emote? Because we can now poll on the Riot broadcast. We can poll Twitch chat and YouTube for like emote spam and stuff. What's your favorite emote to spam?
Poggers and Mocha S.
Okay.
Then there's no other way that was gonna.
I'm a member of the alt-right.
Jesus. All right. We got Posnot gifted a sub to Kobe. Thank you so much, Posnot. Congratulations, Kobe. Jordan resubbed. Great dude. Pass the Owl has subbed. Tyro Joe subbed. And so did Johnny Blade 37. Really
I missed something.
appreciate
What's
it.
going on?
I'll explain it to you later, Mark, when you're
All right,
older.
Kobe's here.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Kobe, what do you think?
Kobe-
Blizzard's banning
Kobe-
people who use
Oh,
Pepe.
oh.
No,
Kobe-
no, please don't ask me this.
Kobe,
Please don't ask me this.
Kobe, where are you calling from?
Huh? Santa Monica, bro.
Oh, nice, Santa Monica. And how's Santa Monica these days?
It's great.
Great to have you on the show. What do you want to talk about today on the show?
I wanted to talk to Doublelift about his lane opponents for their next matchup.
Okay.
Altec and Adrian.
Mhm.
So Altec and Adrian during the regular season, big part of their drop off, they kept banning, Zaya Rakan and when everyone else was playing it, and they got smashed by it. And then they decided to sub out Adrian for Papa Chow for a couple games. What do you think? Because now I think they are putting Adrian back in. What do you think are Altec and Adrian's like biggest problems as a duo Like not even including like team fights and stuff, just straight up lane phase.
Straight up in lane. Well,
Yeah.
I think everyone's most practiced bot lane overall is Zyra in LCS. It's Zyricon, hands down. Like I think everyone except for them
Hmm.
has spammed the shit out of that lane because it's really hard to play. Actually, it looks really face roll because you're just like, oh, I go in with Rakan, but it's actually really tough to play a lot of matchups. So everyone has spammed it. It seems like weren't comfortable playing it. That's a huge weakness, because that's something that everyone kind of needs to be really good at. And what else? I don't know. I feel like Adrian has pretty limited champion pool a lot of the time, and he like used to make jokes about his champion ocean, but he didn't really have one, and I think he gets pretty nervous on stage a lot of the time. That's just the feeling that I get from playing against him. He has pretty big nerves, especially in playoffs. What's their biggest weakness? I don't know. They're just not very scary. It's like I'm just playing versus someone. I don't know who it is. I can't like put a name to it or a strength to it. I'm just playing versus these guys, and um, it feels really easy. Like I guess on the other side, I'll tell you what it's like to play against Ven and Mithy. I can't do anything against Ven and Mithy. I'm pushing them in. I'm doing everything like perfectly, but they're not making any mistakes, and I can't do anything. I'm just sitting there in front of their tower waiting for them to make a mistake, and they never make a mistake. So I think that's like how it feels to play against them. It's like an impenetrable wall. I guess Hakuho got like some hooks through that wall, but usually that's what it's like to play against that duo. They're really good, and it's not. I don't know. When I play against Altec and Adrian, I don't feel anything.
Like emotionally, do you feel anything? Are you just dead inside?
Confidence.
Confidence.
Would you, if you were their coach, because you have to declare only one sub for playoffs and stuff, would you bring Papa Chow, or would you bring one of the other ones that they've shown? Like Demonte was decent in mid lane.
I'm actually really shocked. I thought Papa Chow and Demonte did really good for their debut. So, I don't know what I would do if I was their coach. I guess if I was their coach, I would have been able to fix the problems without making roster changes, or I would have stuck with the roster. I don't know. It seems weird that he flip flopped. It's like he probably did the roster changes because the problems that they had weren't getting fixed, and then maybe he like tried to use the roster changes as a way to motivate the team, or like to get them to agree with him or something. I don't really know what was going on, but it's like, why the fuck did you sub in like these players and then they did pretty good and then you subbed them out? Seems weird.
Kobe, I have a question for you. Who do you think is going to win?
That's not how this show works.
Who do you think is going to... We ask questions to the callers all the time. You never watch this show, Kobe. You don't know.
I'm a long-time fan, buddy.
Jesus.
Really? We hang out all the time. You've never brought it up. Whatever, or what do you think is going to happen this weekend? Do you think Team Liquid is going to win, or 100 Thieves? Or Echo Fox?
Since Doublelift is here, I think they're definitely gonna 3-0 Echo Fox.
Okay. So
Okay, what do you really think though? Honestly,
I'll kick Doublelift and then you can tell the stream. How about that? I'll take him out of the chat for a second. Do you want me to?
get me out of here.
Oh, I think a lot of it hinges on Huni, because Impact has been doing really well recently, but I'm not sure. How Huni's performance is going to change. Huni's playoff is one of the most exciting things, right? Last time, the Lucian and all the epic fail. So that's pretty much what all my hopes are for, to see what Huni's going to pull out and if he's going to be able to do anything to Impact. Because Impact did a good job of absorbing a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Anything else to talk about before we say goodbye to Kobe? Nope. Okay.
Good job, fellas. Love the show.
Bye,
Keep up
Kobe.
the good work.
Kobe.
Are you a subscriber, Kobe?
Yeah, I was gifted a subscription, actually.
Kobe-
I'm a subscriber as of today.
Kobe, who was on the show last week? Remind me. I forget.
You're breaking up.
Oh, and he's gone. Thank you so much, Kobe, for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. Moving on to the next caller. We got... Oh, by the way, we got Kalimi Proto has subbed. Thank you, guys. We're on track for 500 sub points. I don't know if we're going to do that this... I know for Doublelift that means nothing. But for me, that's amazing. It's life-changing.
What did they do?
What? Subs.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You'll only be like 20 or 290,000 less than Ninja or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we have right now.
Yeah. Envy is on the show. Envy, first off, sorry that you didn't make it through the franchising process. Secondly, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Georgia.
Georgia. And what do you want to talk about on the show today?
I want to talk about how, as a C9 fan, I'm actually happy that C9 lost.
Really? Okay, this is
Okay.
interesting. Yeah. Go on.
Shit, let's go.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And
Well-
tell me.
So I've been a long-time C9 fan, and C9, in my opinion, has always had fantastic rosters. So I am on the bandwagon from the preseason that this Cloud9 roster, I really hope, does not stick around. And I really hope they make a change sooner than later.
What don't you like about the roster?
If we're being more blunt, I guess, I think Sven Skaren is a good player, but I think he's a waste of an import slot. Like, he's not worth the import slot with how valuable they are. And although Licorice didn't really do as bad as most people thought he would, I still don't think it's the right fit either.
Doublelift, do you think that
What do
your
you
boy
think-
Dennis? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was wondering, what do you think about Sneaky, Jensen, and Reaper's WoW rating though? Because that's been pretty high this split. No, I'm just kidding. I think
Wait,
I think
elaborate
Dennis
on
is-
that.
Wait, you didn't see the Svenskaren interview where he
No,
talks
I'm
about...
just saying that, like, I don't know if other people might have seen it.
Oh, okay. For context, Dennis did an interview with Riot where he talked about how, like midway through the split, he's looked around and Sneaky, Jensen, and Repeat were playing WoW Arena, and he was like, "Shouldn't we be practicing?"
You did this with Riot? Was this with like
Yeah, he did this
Ovally?
with Riot. This was a Riot article.
Oh, it's an article.
Yeah. Oh shit, maybe that went over most people's heads. My bad. No, but
Breaking news here,
I think-
Doublelift investigative journalist.
I think what you're saying about Dennis is like fair criticism for sure. He's my ex-teammate, so I feel like I gotta defend him at least a little bit. Like, I see a lot of people flame him. I see why. Like, he looks really bad when his team is doing bad, I guess, because it just looks like he's dying carelessly. But I guess what I will say is, like, if no one on the C9 was willing to take risks like Dennis does, then they wouldn't do anything. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I feel like Jensen and Sneaky are really safe players. They're not real playmakers. Like, people say that Jensen and Sneaky are good because they're really clean. They're really solid. They don't die much. They're not a liability. But I don't think people say, like, Sneaky and Jensen, they're fucking beasts at initiating. They're so good at engaging fights. Like, they really make the plays. I think they say, like, they're really good at dodging stuff and, like, just playing back. So I think you need a jungler that's willing to take risks. And when you have Dennis on your team and you're losing, he just looks like he's trolling. But I think what he's really doing is he's like, he feels like he needs to engage for the team. But like, their teamwork is just not good enough, I guess, to pull it off.
To kind of follow up on that point, maybe you can share some insight if you can remember this, but like, he looked like he was like, Sven almost looked like he was trolling in spring 2016 when you guys had Yellowstar on that roster on TSM and you weren't in playoffs at that, like you were like 8th or whatever and barely making playoffs. And then in summer he looked like a god and you guys went on that insane run. Like, did you feel like his level of play elevated much, or like the team started playing better and then he could play this aggressive style?
It's just like we had these super long emotional talks where it's like, for the longest time we're like, Dennis, you can't do that. You can't go in. You can't do this because of that. You can't play this matchup because of these reasons. And it's like, at one point it was just like a blow up where Dennis was just like, well, I can't do anything. Like, apparently I can't engage here. Like, I can't play these champions. Like, we can't do this. We can't do that. Like, I feel like we like suffocated him. And then like the TSM culture, you know, it's like a stereotype about like how it's just Bjergsen and wards, but like, it is like a very critical culture. So, not like overly critical, but it's critical. And like when people attack you for like making mistakes, it makes it feel like you can't do anything. Like you have to think everything over 1,000 times before you breathe, or like you make any move in game. So I think giving your jungler confidence is really important because, like, I don't know, on Team Liquid we give Jake a lot of support, I guess. It's like if he thinks we should fight, we're fighting. Like, we're all in on it. Nobody's second guessing. Nobody's like saying like, "Oh, I don't think we can win." It's like, no, we're fucking doing this. So I think that's something maybe C9 is missing, because like that's why it looks like Dennis is just randomly engaging. It's like I don't think he has everyone's support, I guess, behind it.
Can I ask a question of the caller as well? So if you think that Sven is not a best utilized import slot, do you want a different import jungler, or do you want to change out top lane and get an NA jungler?
Gotcha. Well, so let me say one thing on the last part first, and then I'll answer your question. When I made that statement, I think Svenskeren is a good player, and I think he is not bad for C9. I just think he's not valuable enough for the import slot.
Right.
So if he were a resident, then perfectly fine on C9.
That's fair.
And then to answer your question, I would say 100% just based off of, previous Cloud9 success is simply playing through top lane. I mean, if you look at Meteos balls, if you look at, Impact, if you just look at every Cloud9 success, it is always a sturdy top laner. So yeah, I would for sure go look for the import. Like, I would have loved to have seen an NA jungler and Cloud9 to swoop up Huni instead of Echo Fox.
Yeah, but they didn't. Nuts. So what do you do now?
Right. But luckily, I am not a team owner. I'm not in a crappy position that Jack is, where rosters are rather, closed at the moment. But
right.
Did you hear Jack actually said he's not changing the roster up?
Then, with all due respect to Jack, he's dumb. But good
go.
luck,
well,
right? Like,
maybe not dumb, but you don't agree.
He's not dumb. Yeah, of course he's not a dumb team owner. I mean, look at the success that Cloud9 has had. Yeah. But not changing the roster is a mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but then also we don't. It's not like there's an obvious solution in your mind. So,
right,
he has to decide. Like, he could make it worse, right? What if his team doesn't make it to playoffs next split?
But how do you make it worse, right? Like, the only downside is not making playoffs. But
yeah,
in the current trend, I don't see Cloud9 making it to Worlds this year. So whether you don't make playoffs or it really doesn't matter.
This is, I mean,
if you're not making it to Worlds, it just doesn't really matter.
No respect to you, but it does feel a little dire for a team that was like consistently in the top two the entire until the very last day of the split to say like there's no chance they can make Worlds right now.
Well, to be fair, they were doing well based on one meta that's surrounded on solely counter picking for Licorice, and Licorice playing, a lot more aggressive top laners. And then as soon as it swaps to a tank meta, it looked really abysmal. And the whole PR behind it was they're trying new things, but when does that line stop exactly? Like, when is it that they actually have to win games rather than trying new things?
Yeah.
Because this situation is avoided by simply just winning a couple more regular season games.
Yeah.
They must have some serious faith in Licorice. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's probably like on the inside. That's probably what they discussed. Like, oh, we think Licorice can like super turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, he's only had one split so far, so.
Yeah, I feel the same thing that you do though. That they did the same thing all split. They didn't change it, and that's why we prepped so hard for the match. Is like I thought they were gonna change it up, get spicy, because Licorice was doing the same thing every day or every game, and yeah, they didn't do it. Unfortunate.
Thank you so much, Envy, for calling in.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good one. And hopefully your Overwatch
thanks,
team
dude.
figures it out. Thanks.
Jeez.
I think they're
Just ripping Dallas Fuel there. Yeah, no, they're not doing well.
Yeah.
Wait, what's wrong with Dallas Fuel? Who's the best Overwatch team? Is it Seoul Dynasty?
No, it's
the Shanghai Dragons.
No, it's not.
It's Excelsior.
New York Excelsior. Yeah.
You should become a big Shanghai Dragons fan, Doublelift.
Why is it not Seoul Dynasty? They have the coolest name.
They're the third best team, I think.
Holy shit.
Intrepid 90 has subbed. Jason Nelson 24 has subbed. Kiwi Mullet Boy subbed and said, "Hey Travis, I just want to shout out everything the Chainsmokers have done from 2016 to the present day."
We have the entire end of the show for that. All right, let's.
JV Ked, Ching Lam, both subbed. Absolute FX subbed as well.
Meddling
Thank you.
Kids is here.
Thank you so
Yo,
much.
Travis, you didn't enable Poggers or Monkas in your chat?
I don't even know how to. It sounds like there's an extension that I
Yeah,
have to
you
do this
download
with.
Better Twitch TV and you enable it.
I don't.
It's
Why do
for
I have to do
viewers,
this?
dude.
This sounds like a. I don't.
Can I get a Monkas in the chat for this guy not enabling Better Twitch TV?
Monka S for not enabling Monka S.
Holy shit.
Are you done yet, Peter? Can I have
Yeah.
my
We have
Can
a
I have my
caller.
show back yet? Meddling Kids is here. Meddling Kids, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the Bronx.
The Bronx. Okay. And what do you want to talk about on the show tonight?
I just want to talk about how Solo is one of the best value pickups for an NA org this offseason, and you can see it in his current play. Just going off of value, because I think value is kind of subjective. I'm basing a lot of this out of, and we saw this with the last caller, how he's not taking up an import slot. He's also, and especially in top lane, where you see a lot of either the top laners who are NA residents stay on their teams, or importing really high level talents, which costs a lot of money, which Solo probably is not making, but I can't know that for sure. He's also fluent in English, and his stats are really okay considering how little resources he's getting. And I think that he fits really well in the team that they were building, and I don't think that they could have picked up a better player.
Yeah, I think you
that
can
work.
say, and I talk about this. I have an interview with Sebastian Park, who's like the guy that runs Clutch coming out tomorrow. But in it, I said I feel like he won the offseason because he probably spent the least to get the most. Like, that is a valuable team. Like, talking about Value Town. This is a Trump stream right
Value
now.
Town.
Yeah.
Ben
Not
Bro.
that Trump, the other Trump.
People don't know what
Look
Trump
a
you're
bit like
talking
that,
about,
bro.
dude.
Yeah, it's a Hearthstone Trump.
Sebastian Park also used to be Archon with Amaz, so
Yeah.
all these Hearthstone things.
Yeah. Mark Zimmerman has a Doublelift. What do you think of...
That's true. No, I totally agree. I think for context, like coming in, I thought Solo, his account name is Resig in solo queue. I was really shocked that he did not get permabanned over the last few years because he was the biggest tilter I've ever played with and one of the hardest flamers in solo queue. I'm sure eventually one person will dig up all the chat logs, but he's like literally one of the most toxic people I've ever played with.
Just ask Dominate about it. Dom
Yeah.
hated, like, it was so funny. We had a solo on one of our academy teams on TLA, and Dom was on TL at the time, and he's like, I refuse to fucking talk to that kid. Like, don't let me see him. I'll beat the shit. Like, they
Yeah.
were getting a fight. He hated him.
One of the most insane flamers I've ever seen, but it was really funny to play like with and against him. Anyways, and then I'm like, holy shit, this guy's gonna be an LCS? Like, wow, like I wonder, you know, like I thought he was gonna do really bad, but I'm glad he proved me wrong. Like I think it's cool that he is reformed flamer. He looks pretty nice in person. Always like smiling, doesn't seem to get tilted, and he's doing good. So
His family shows up to every single game. It's super cute. It's like the new X-Smithy. It's really great.
Yeah, he actually is really nice in person. I didn't ever have a problem with him on a team, which was surprising given his solo queue history. I thought he was going to be terrible, and then like I interviewed him once for like trying out for the team, and he sounded nice, but like a lot of shitheads in solo queue sound nice when you interview them, and then you put them in a losing situation, they start flaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've actually never seen him do that, which is pretty impressive.
Peter sounds nice until he starts losing.
Case in point.
Yeah.
the manifesto is coming out.
Okay, remind me at the end of the show about that.
Okay. We'll forget, but yeah. Twitch chat, maybe you can help remember. Set a reminder.
So solo suck off session, is it agreed?
No, that's about
Yeah,
the Dunzo
we take
manifesto,
turns?
I think.
No, he's just talking about right now.
No, I know, but like, what about the caller?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is
Let me
there
host
someone
this
else?
show.
I thought this was going to be a lot hotter take than it actually was. So yeah.
Well, I was gonna try and ask: is there anyone Doublelift who you can think of who was a better value pickup this split? Like someone who you didn't
Me?
have.
Okay.
I don't want to ask your contract numbers here, but I doubt you were a value fund.
Yeah.
I bet you have a pretty fat
They
contract.
picked me up out of the bargain bin, dude.
Yeah.
I'm used
TSM
goods.
was like, does anybody want this? We
Damn,
don't
it's
really.
goods.
Yeah,
This is kind of
I'm
just.
like-
it's
I'm in the
just-
back of the supermarket with the
Yeah.
expired stuff. Who's a better value than Solo? Shit, good question. Better value. Value Town.
Hakuho. I don't know.
You know, fuck, I can't answer that. Yeah, it's so hard. Who's on 100 Thieves? I can fucks. No, yeah, I think Solo for sure.
I don't know.
Ryu? That
No, I
guy
was
is
just
Korean.
throwing names out there, dude.
Yeah, yeah. No, I guess
Elimination?
it's just me then. Yeah, elimination.
That is some depreciating value.
Meddling Kids,
Whoever
thank you.
sold his contract
What? Oh,
got
I
serious
see what you
value.
mean. Meddling Kids, thank you so much for calling to the show.
Awesome. See you
Thank
guys.
Thanks, man.
All right, let's churn through some more folks as we move
Here,
on.
Travis, I'm gonna link you where you go for emotes, man. You really need to get on.
Wacky Packy Lips a sub, thank you so much.
You need to get on it,
Peter,
man.
I am not a member of the alt-right. I don't wanna.
Pepe.
I think just because you use those emotes doesn't make you a member of the alt-right.
Oh shit, really? Just kidding. Dude, just do it. You don't enable poggers, then how you gonna experience
Why
the
do
power?
why do I need to use this extension anyway? I just don't understand. Maybe I'm an old
Because
man.
okay. If you have better Twitch TV, you can see poggers, Monka S, and like
Omega Lol.
Sour Please, Omega Lol, like
Okay.
you can see everything.
Well,
You can see God.
This is a powerful extension. I'm really
you
impressed
find
by
yourself-
this.
you-
I didn't know that the
understand your
Chrome
humanity.
API is allowed for that kind of thing.
No, seriously. And like you need to enable it manually by enabling Better Twitch TV on your channel.
Listen, biggest Doublelift fan is in the call right now. Biggest Doublelift fan, where are you calling from?
Eagle Pass, Texas.
From where in Texas?
Eagle Pass. It's like a small city. You won't know it.
Eagle Pass. And why are you the biggest Doublelift fan?
I'm not. I just said that to have a better chance of getting in the call.
Okay. Well,
I like
at least.
I'm actually,
I appreciate the name drop, man.
Yeah. That's it's good strategy. We've got the callers of the show are getting savvier and savvier. You know.
Smart.
Gotta say. Biggest Doublelift fan. What do you want to talk about on the show?
all right. I want to talk about trash talk in NALCS compared to like traditional sports.
Okay,
Like for
go
example, in like basketball or football, there's like a lot of shit talking like in person. Like for example, like there's like a lot of like snatching chains in the NFL. Like if you have like a chain, they just rip it off, and like in basketball, they're constantly bantering. And then it seems like in LCS, everyone's like a nice guy. Like you see Bifrost interview, like yeah, they played well, but we played a little better, I guess.
Can I insert my opinion here on
Yeah,
this?
go
I
for
think
it.
a lot of it is actually due to the fact of one, the type of game, and two, the stage setup. You see this a lot in other esports, actually, particularly console esports, like console shooters, where they will line team ups and the stage setup is so that you're like sitting right across from your opponent and you can just get up and yell at them. And you see a ton of shit talk in those console esports mid-game, mid-series, like if somebody
Yeah.
chokes and stuff.
It's sometimes
But in League-
inappropriate.
Yeah, for sure. In League, like, it's very difficult to do so because, and I don't think that Riot would want to encourage this anyway, so it's a moot point, but like you're wearing a soundproof headset and you're on different sides of the stage, and like also League is not necessarily the same kind of like adrenaline rush except for like team fight things, whereas like I don't know, the experience in like Halo and COD is much more visceral when you're like shooting somebody.
Doublelift. How much of it do you think is like also just the fact that you guys know each other probably better than any other esport I can think of, where like LCS players see everybody every single weekend and like have very shared common areas. So like you get to know people a lot more, and it's harder to shit talk someone that you see every weekend. And it's like I bumped into him at a tournament after talking shit online, and then I yelled at him.
On the other side of it, Mark, you see them, and if you really hate somebody, then it festers even more and more, and you can't get away from them. You're like, God, I just can't wait to fucking destroy this kid.
Yeah,
But I agree with you.
I think you just don't want to make any enemies, or else you might be out of a job. If someone hates you, you might get like,
Oh,
kicked
that's
off
a
your
good
team,
point.
and
Yeah.
then you have one less opportunity. But anyways, that doesn't really matter. That's probably the same in other esports too, and like regular sports. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're all
Traditional
just
sports.
at first we're just like really awkward virgins. We don't want to make enemies.
Not enough chads? Is that what you're?
Yeah, we don't have any chads, except now.
We have some. I mean, TSM trash talked a lot. Like they trash talked before the start of the split.
Yeah.
In fact, they trash talked so much that like Bjergsen apologized because he was like kind of mean to Biofrost.
No, but like I think the call is talking about like more personal stuff, like in your face, more in your face stuff.
Yeah, less like, hey, here's a tweet and here's a feature that someone said something, and it's like none of it seems organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing is like in game, like why can't we like see some like in game BM? Like for example, Impact popping off on Shin. Like why can't they give us like a penguin dab or something? You know? Like
They don't have those enabled on Tournament Realm. But yeah, we should be able to penguin dab. Fuck. You're right, man.
Or like
bring that up.
Chat can see all chat, and you see like Impact like flaming the shit out of the enemy top laner.
There was actually like rules about all chat. Like I played in tournaments back in the day when you could type in all chat, and like I remember I played against Fnatic, and then I died to Expeke, and he said best 80 down XD.
Yes, that'd be so hypey.
That'd be fucking hilarious if it happened now. Like, but I think what they like disabled all chat. Like you can't type shit in all chat because I don't know why. Actually, I don't even know if that rule is still in effect, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, Riot definitely does not want that stuff.
Yeah.
Riot.
Maybe they just don't want to promote. They probably just don't want to promote like a really toxic, atmosphere, I guess, for their game.
But they don't want this to turn into Overwatch.
If everyone was an asshole,
no Pepes, please.
It might discourage new players from buying RP.
Do you think they've gone too far in the other direction, Doublelift? Like,
I think so.
I think a lot of fans feel that way. But as a pro player, do you feel like you wish there was more of that stuff, or are you kind of happy with the current like environment where it's more pleasant?
It's not really right. I think it's just community. Like if Concert tweets, I don't know. Like I guess the example is Concert tweets. I can see Clutch shaking in their, or I can feel them shaking in their boots in next door. Then he loses. He's gonna have to see people bring that up in his face every fucking day for 2 years, for the rest of his career. Literally for the rest of his career, people are gonna bring this up, and it's
like
gonna make him feel bad.
Faker.
But what's that?
Like Jensen clapping Faker. Like
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. It's like, I guess our lives are a lot more online. So like when you're a fucking football player, I'm guessing you don't go on Twitter and like read all the hate mail every day because you're probably busy. But like we spend all of our lives online, so people can just like heckle us about that stuff nonstop, and then like we're always exposed to it. Maybe in the future, esports players just won't use social media as much, and then they won't care about the repercussions as much.
Also on the field, what you say is like not public for everybody to hear or discern. Like sometimes they make up players and stuff, but largely like a lot of the shit that goes on is like, you know, unheard, unspoken from the general audience.
So funny story. Well, I don't know if I should tell the story, but anyways, in basketball in particular, Kevin Garnett is like this unbelievable trash talker, and just like some of the stories that have come out about shittiest said is like so fucked up. It's like he's actually engaging in mental warfare while playing basketball, and everyone hates him until he's on his team, and like it's just so funny, some of the stories. I won't get into them because they actually are kind of fucked up, but it's great. I can understand why it's not in LCS though.
It's interesting because again, like this always happens. Mark blows me up for it, but I did an interview with Steve. It's the one that's out right now. It's on the subreddit and on the channel, and he was saying part of the reason he is enjoying the shit talk with Jack is because he feels like there's not enough of it in the scene, and he wants there to be more of it. And then it was really funny because then people in the Twitch chat in the YouTube comments were blowing him up because he said Clutch is bad. And I'm like, guys, like, they lost, but like I don't know. We already talked about this. I think it's interesting. Even Steve and some of the owners, I think, are trying to kind of bring some of it back in. So
yeah, I think it's tough that the community is like, how could you like, see you're wrong, as opposed to just like, oh, huh.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, one last thing. What would you guys think if there was a game 4 of our series and I was like, Jensen, you're looking nervous, or like Jensen, nice Orioles, or something like that backstage, and it got broadcasted to everyone.
As a fan, I would love that shit, dude. Like it would make you want to watch the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like it would be bad for Peter. Yeah.
I don't know. Like
It's high risk, high reward.
Either way, it's a better story. Like, dude, the fucking Reggie Miller, Spike Lee shit where like they were losing and then Spike Lee's like, you're fucking choking and all this. And then Reggie Miller goes out and just like fucking shoots like 1,000,000,000% and then goes back to Spike Lee and does the choking thing again. Like, that's just such a great story. And like, I would love if you talk that shit and either you destroy Jensen the rest of the series, or Jensen then is like, man, fuck this kid, and then destroys you and then talks more shit back. Like, either way, as a viewer, I am more entertained than I was if you didn't do it.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Biggest Doublelift fan. I'm not sure if I approve of your strategy, but it works, so congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Doing it next time. See ya.
Confirmed new strategy for Hotline League. Just make shit up.
Yeah.
Get on. Who cares? No repercussions.
Lulu Lamperidge donated 5,000 bits and said, really happy to see your new show, Hotline League, at Doublelift Peter. Smiley face. Keep up the good work. The Human Crab subbed. Dodo 8. Lulu Lamperidge coming back in with the sub. Boba Cola 500 bits. And also thank you, Boba Cola, for the wish list stuff. Came in the mail today. Fahelium subbed. And then Leodo99 resubbed and said, it's really interesting how the semifinal match of TL versus Fox is basically 2016 IMT versus 2017 IMT. Interesting. I hadn't really thought about that. Space Pope 20K is on the show right now. Space Pope 20K, another great name. Where are you calling from? Presumably space, but...
Yeah, not space, unfortunately. From Flint, Michigan.
Flint, Michigan. And what... Isn't that where...
Yeah.
Michael...
It's rough over here. It gets weird. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Space Pope 20K, what do you want to talk about on the show besides Flint, Michigan?
All right, so first of all, first-time caller, but I've watched every episode of this show so far. It's great.
Hey, congrats.
Thank you.
Kelby, I'm happy you're on here, man.
You and
Super
Kobe,
fun.
apparently.
Thank you.
So I've been saying since the preseason, I actually tried to get onto one of the earlier episodes, like at the very start, that Reginald was claiming that the last season of TSM, like with you, Doublelift, and with Vincent and with Dennis, or Biofrost and Svenskaren, that it was not a Worlds caliber team, right? And here we are with his Worlds now team, and it's like Mike Young didn't know how to jungle for the first 4 games.
Kind of true.
So,
I mean, and he's a pro, of course he knows, but it's like I feel as though the Worlds now team mentality that he had, like obviously you have to win NA first, but like I've been a TSM fan since like season 1 with like Chaos and Dyrus and everything, you know, and to be now in season 8, like I've been supporting both CLG and Team Liquid because you and Bio have been like my favorite bot lane throughout all this. And like Reggie's tears are gonna be so delicious. Like I was on Twitter like ready for it as soon as they lost.
Damn, they were pretty delicious. I gotta say.
This situation, like, so I'll harken back to what you were saying. I remember
Peter, are you
on like
picking your teeth live on the show right now?
My bad. I'll do it later.
Okay, that's probably a good idea.
Don't let Travis shame you, all right?
Sorry, Kelby,
on one of the
continue.
preseason episodes, I shared this exact same sentiment with you, or you obviously weren't on the show, but I shared it on this show where I thought that this was potentially the first time that Reggie was making a roster move that could come back and really bite him in the butt. And the thing that I was thinking about that I'm really glad Peter's on to share with is like this situation read so reminiscent to me of something that CLG experienced going from season 2 to season 3, where literally, Peter, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember this very distinct conversation where we were talking about expectations for season 3, and you said to me verbatim, you don't understand how free NA is going to be. Like, the only thing that matters is how well we're going to do at Worlds, because we want to be a Worlds competitive team. And that was like the ethos that kind of bled through our team at the start of season 3, where like we didn't respect the region at all. We took for granted that we were going to be the best team in NA, and like we had some like rocky first weeks, I think, when LCS was starting up, but we were like, it doesn't matter, we'll get back on track. Like, we're way better than everybody else. And I'm not saying this is necessarily the exact same thing that's going on in TSM, but like it reads a lot to me that way, where you feel like your team, and in TSM's case, like had proven for a pretty consistent period of time that like they could just smash NA, granted with Peter and Sven and Bio on the team. Like, we need to go to the next level. we've eclipsed this, and you overshoot a little bit and you make a really big change and take for granted that you'll just be able to keep the same level of consistency and then upgrade, which is, it's like you can't just take it for granted. And it's maybe is now biting them in the butt, because the other thing that I brought up as well, and I'll stop after this rambling, but like when you release NA talent back into that region, you have to compete against them. You release the best.
Everybody got better for it.
Yeah, exactly. You release the best player in the history of the U.S. back onto one of your rivals.
Damn.
It's true. Like, it is objectively true. Like, that's subjective. I can't say it's objectively true, but in my opinion, it's true. Like, certainly, one of the best players in one of the best Western ADCs, who's like still performing very well, and Bio,
not even a top
well
3 ADC, by the way. Was it
Yeah,
Cody's
talking about
son?
Kelby. Did you see the All-Star?
Was it Sneaky?
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
it Sven?
For sure. And then I watched the quarterfinals in which Peter didn't die once. So, you know, that pans out. But yeah, like, it's just like, it's one of those situations, and we will ultimately see whether or not TSM can get it back together in Summer Split. But like, it's really scary when you do something like that, when you just like maybe reach a little bit too far and take for granted what you already have.
Yeah, Reggie actually has a tweet from yesterday where he said, "I/we took winning NA for granted. How do we go for Worlds when we can't win NA?" So
Right. Yeah.
I think whether or not
That's so
that's
fitting.
whether it's due to like roster moves or just actual attitude of how the team was practicing or something, who knows what he's referencing, but definitely the case.
Yeah, that so perfectly sums up like the regret, I guess, the mentality. I think the memory that you had where we're talking about like, oh, we're so much better than everyone else, like we're definitely world class, like it's gonna be a cakewalk, like we're already thinking about the next thing. It's like that's such a classic like hubris thing. I'm sure there's like a billion fucking like stories, novels, whatever about this like classic arrogance mistake, and it definitely looks like TSM kind of had it. I think it was subconscious though. I don't think like the team is like, oh, we're definitely gonna make Worlds, let's only focus on being like top 4 at Worlds or whatever. I think like, but subconsciously they're like, oh, dude, our parts, like the parts of our team are so insane individually. Like we are definitely better than everyone else. We're just waiting for our time to shine or whatever. They get too comfortable. I think that's really exactly what happened. Just getting too comfortable.
Are you concerned at all that like this now gives them the perfect wake up call to become that monstrous team that everyone thought they could be, or are you just like, nah, fuck them?
Wait, do I think that TSM was gonna be beast? Oh, go
no,
ahead.
I'm saying like now that they have lost for the first time ever, not in finals, do you actually think that this then gives them the perfect wake up call to like be monsters in summer and for Worlds and stuff?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Not the perfect wake up call, because they don't have a chance to play the rest of playoffs or even MSI.
Yeah.
But a good one.
Yeah. If there's a moment for it to happen for them, it's now.
Peter,
Certainly.
you know, Andy, do you think that there will be some sort of change with TSM in the offseason or in the break?
No, I don't think so. I feel like if I was part of that org, I'd say just one split. They gave, the roster that I was on, they gave our roster 2 years, 2 Worlds of chances. And that one, it's like, you could chalk it up to, oh, we had one bad set. Like, why make, if you take the positive, optimistic approach, you could just say, oh, one fluke. We're going to get him next time.
So this is a big part of my criticism with Reginald on this too, because again, like I'm not just a longtime TSM fan to just fair weather jump ship. I feel like if you're saying, hey, we don't think this is the roster that will win Worlds, so here's our long-term approach. Let's bring in a veteran shot caller and like established duo in bot lane, groom this, potential NA talent jungler. That's a different expression. But when you say in the preseason, this is our Worlds now team, like, I just don't agree. Like, at best, Sven and Mithy are a side grade to the bot lane that they had. Like, at best. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they have experience, and Bio was still new, but Bio's still getting better. Like, still. So, for me, to say we have a win now, Worlds now team, if you're going to spend both of your imports on a bot lane, this is a question I have for you guys. Why not reach out to Prey and Gorilla, who were interviewed at All-Stars and said they would love to come to NA?
Language barrier.
Yeah. Probably that.
I know Reggie has always been against mixed communication, and
I mean, especially once, like in the past, they had mixed communication, right? And then it became a bit of an issue. So
yeah, well, since then, I guess I know
Yeah.
when the bigger wave of talent started coming in.
yeah, I think that's why he wouldn't do it. Why is everyone spamming a stupid Doublelift meme? This is what puts slow chat on, guys.
Dude, just let Twitch chat spam. Are you actually reading
Travis.
Twitch chat?
Didn't know you were the fun police over here.
I haven't
Yeah.
say you referenced one thing from Twitch chat today.
I got Kobe came on the show because of it.
Oh, that's true.
Space
Well,
Pope
I think
20K.
TSM's
I'm sorry you have to be here for this violent moment. Peter, were you gonna say something?
I think TSM's roster could do good. They just had a really unfortunate end to the split, but I mean, what it's like to play versus Sven and Mithy and what it's like to play versus every other bot lane in NA, it's like I feel like I look like I'm playing pretty well right now to the viewers or whatever, but up until this point, like we were just getting spanked by Sven and Mithy. They were so good. I think they really elevated the region a lot. Like I think if Apollo and Hago didn't scrim against them so much, they, and that was the first time they ever met, that wouldn't have happened. They're pretty good. I'm not saying that they're an upgrade, but they're fucking good.
Very good. Well, thank
I
you.
have to agree. I mean, it's definitely apparent that they're good. I mean, they had such long-term success with G2, and that is a good point you make, where you're seeing people like Apollo and Hakuo, right, getting what is like simulated Worlds experience playing against international talent like Sven and Mithy, which they've never played against before.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling in, Space Pope.
Dude, thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
appreciate it.
dude.
Hey, Doublelift, you know the origin of that meme, like the Alex 19 thing?
Yeah, the Alex 19, of course,
Okay.
dude.
Okay, I didn't know if it was just like, oh man, this is such a great copy pasta about me.
They even added a special part just for me. And his haircut.
Oh yeah, nice.
I'm gonna have to go back and read the spam.
It's not pretty.
It's literally the entire chat now.
Bob donated $5 and says, Travis, why didn't you drop the anchor? I don't know what that's a reference to. And Exponential
Oh,
has subbed
I know what that's a reference
well.
to. Peter blew up the
Frosty.
ship because you wouldn't drop the anchor and fucking
Drop
pick
that
me
anchor,
up.
baby.
Frosty, listen, I'm sorry, Frosty, you had to join at this time. There's a lot of hostility.
No, that's
in this
alright,
call.
man. That's alright.
Where are you calling from? It sounds like not nearby.
Atlantis.
No, it's not actually. I'm calling from Cape Town, South Africa.
From South Africa? Holy moly. I think you're definitely... You might be the furthest away from us we've ever had somebody call. I think New Zealand is definitely closer than Cape Town. What do you want to talk about on the show?
Ew, sorry, there's an incredibly heavy lag on this.
I mean,
the
I
internet's
imagine.
doing some strange things.
Say your thing. Go for it.
Anyway, yeah, so what I wanted to talk about is, as an outsider with no affiliation to America and the NALCS, is that I really enjoy watching this content that is output because of the interpersonal rivalries and the storylines between players, because there's just so much great stuff to follow and a lot of appeal to viewers, since it differentiates NA from other regions. So you see things like Jensen versus Bjergsen, Sneaky and the Memes, Doublelift versus every team that he was previously on, Dardok and the implosion or lack of implosion on Echo Fox, is Rainova a strong independent jungler who doesn't need no Huni, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you're really up to date on all this stuff. You follow the league well.
I like that point because I mentioned this once, I think on GLT or something, about how EU kind of blew itself up for a little while because they lost all of that. And if you go back and look at like legacy players, and I don't know how true this is anymore. This was in season 7, I think. But NA had like 10 players who had been playing since season 3 or season 4, and EU had like 3 or something. And so I think having long-term, especially like the superstar players like Doublelift still in the league, Bjergsen, whatever, Afro, like all that is huge for like maintaining fan interest, because that gives time for like the newer players to become quote unquote famous or whatever you want to say. And I think it's something that EU lost because like G2 and Fnatic and all those like legendary players, or I guess Fnatic Origin, SK, like all those players just disappeared.
Yeah, Mark, you mentioned EULCS and I had an involuntary yawn that just happened.
Holy moly.
Double, how much EU have you watched this year?
Legit none. It's so boring. Yeah. No, I can't do it.
Yeah, no, legitimately. That being said, the only sort of things you see when you tuning into the EULCS in terms of the consistent storylines are like so as on a dog champ, or the fact that Julius doesn't know what the smite key is, or Kasing laughing all the time.
Yeah, they're just grasping at straws, dude. I love that Twitch chat is just spamming NALCS waiting room when EULCS is going on, because it's just it's so funny. I mean, I feel bad for the EULCS players, but it's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Their viewership does really well though. They've been getting strong viewership this split, right?
Are you?
I think it's like less than half of a ninja stream is usually what they average.
You're not counting the other languages. Not counting the other languages. I mean, in NALCS, our viewership has been slipping too. I don't think that we can throw stones at anybody.
Yeah, but at least we're like, 1.25 a ninja stream,
Yeah.
Dude, it's actually 100K watching on YouTube, so it's like Twitch, and then you go over on YouTube, and it's like usually between 80 and like 120K. Not bad.
I mean, to be fair, like NA had 255 on Twitch. I wasn't tracking it super closely, but for that TSM loss, they had 255 on Twitch. I don't know what it had on YouTube. So.
At least 100. I was watching on YouTube. At least 100.
Yeah,
so that was a lot.
I looked at it. I looked at an EU, and it was 50K for
and that's all you got to see before your eyes closed when you were knocked out cold.
It's a miracle I remember. Like I didn't fall down and get a concussion. And be like, what happened?
What do you find so boring about EULCS, Peter? I'm curious. Because shit talking is fun, but I'm just curious.
I don't know. I think it's a lot of small reasons. Part of it is that not every player is like totally fluent in English, which means they can't express themselves as easily. It's like they can use the same words that everyone knows, very basic English. If you're fluent, you can articulate yourself a lot more, as I choke on my words. And like, I guess you feel a lot more connected to someone if they're fluent, like the culture is there. But I don't know what it is. I feel like Europe has a larger player base, so you can't even really say that they have like less players to pull from, like viewers to pull from. I think they are just not as interesting. I guess their play style is really. Their playstyle and personality is not that interesting. Also, in NA, everyone streams. Or everyone used to stream.
Oh, don't. Kelby's going to go on his rant now.
No, it's
the
just
power of Twitch.
No, Kelby in the past has gone on streaming rants where he says people in Europe don't stream enough.
I mean, they don't. They never have.
Dude, Kelby had the fattest influence ever on me. He told me, you're only going to be doing this shit for a really tiny portion of your life. If you have any free time at all, just spend it streaming, because this is your biggest opportunity. This is your biggest window to make it big and like make a lot of money, make a lot of fans, like make a legacy. So when I first joined CLG and Kelby told me that, I was like, holy shit, if I'm not sleeping, then I'm going to be streaming.
Yeah. And he was like, don't even practice for Worlds. Just stream on Own3D TV. Whatever it takes.
Frosty, what do you...
Some bets you lose.
Sorry, Mark, you were saying?
Yeah, what do you think for like why you personally don't find EU as interesting? You mentioned like the interpersonal like kind of rivalries of the players. Is there anything else?
I mean, so when I've been playing League, I play on EU West, so I have far more affiliation to the server. But watching the pro scene, like it's just dead, quite frankly. And also just looking at the way that like. I know this sounds like a bit like I'm sucking up, but I just love the American casters far more than the European ones.
Yeah.
Like, Vedius is kind of funny, and Deficio, he does the things. But just in terms of the personalities, in terms of having the desk, the analyst desk, and the shoutcasters, it's a far more engaging environment.
Right. I think that's actually something that I haven't given enough credit to personally in the past, as well as, especially now that they don't have Mitch there. That I think that NA broadcast talent has been, much better for a longer period of time.
Although that being said, he did sub in for one game, so got to give him credit there.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the reason that LCK and OGN blew up is because Monty and Doa were really great on broadcast, as much as, some people, I thought they were super awesome. Whoa. What were you going to say, Peter?
No, just looking at Travis right now. He's looking like someone he saw a ghost.
Right. Yeah.
I'm looking like I saw a ghost because I look. You say it. Kelby says that, and I look at Peter, and I just wait for him to start making an expression.
No. I actually I never thought about that at all. That's such a good point. Like pros, from our perspective, like when we watch streams, we usually mute it because we can't stand hearing the casters talk. But
Right.
like when Jad is on, like I actually listen to him and I enjoy hearing what he says. I don't know why. His voice it's like fucking like silk, and he usually says smart stuff and he says it in an interesting way. And like I like listening to Jat and I like listening to Monty and Doa. And then I couldn't listen to any of the EU casters because they're just really weird. I don't know. I guess they're just not for me. But I'm glad I'm not in this. The only one in that boat.
Hey Frosty, how are you able to watch, or how difficult is it for you to follow all this stuff from Cape Town?
I mean, quite frankly, I have to stay up until about midnight to catch the start of NALCS, and then EU sort of starts at like, I think it's 8:30 my side PM. So it's a bit of a struggle, but I mean, I enjoy catching it live, and if not, I've always got the VODs. So.
Yeah. What time is it there right now?
Dude.
Pardon, sorry?
What time is it there right now?
It's 7 minutes to 7 in the morning.
Okay. Damn, so you're up early.
Shit.
You have an interesting sleep schedule, Frosty.
I actually didn't go to sleep last night. I've been crafting.
Well,
no, I'm at varsity, so all the late night assignments. Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly.
What's varsity?
It's university, college for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Yo, by the way, you sound like a Chad. Like, I'm just saying. I feel like you're a Chad.
Dude, go
Your
become
voice-
a caster.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Frosty. Really appreciate the call in.
Yeah, thanks.
Before I go, can I just do a quick shout out?
Sure, as long as it's not offensive.
Sorry.
Is it the Chainsmokers?
I was about to say, sorry, Kelby is not a Chainsmokers shout out. But just two things. One, shout out to the Australian cricket team. They almost got one over on the South African boys, but not quite. And then hashtag give South Africa a server. Thank you very much, gents. It's been a pleasure.
What a great South African shout out. Thank you so much.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah. We have the
I think
nicest
that
callers.
guy has to play
on
on
the show.
EU West.
Yeah, holy shit.
From South
like 500
Africa?
Mm.
Yeah, that's got to be rough. Jesus.
Let's see. XX Shadowbolt 32XX sub, Sham sub, Erebus Reaper sub, Shadow Crady donated $5. Says quick fun question for the whole squad. If you had to have one, which import jungler would you prefer, Rush or Levi? Rush.
Rush.
Crave 0 donated $10 says, can you please stream Sea of Things after this? No, because I have to run. Healer subbed, and X Billix sent some cash as well. So thank you so much. Waiting on this. The Sea of Thieves stream was pretty fun. I'm glad people enjoyed that. It's a fun game. I don't know if it's worth $60, but it was fun to play with all of us on it. How you doing, Peter? We got about 5 minutes left.
I think I'm gonna. Oh, there's only 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Thank God.
That was a little rude, Peter.
Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm just tired.
Yeah. Mark is in some heated debates. By the way, we are 16 sub points away from 500, which would be the most I've ever had. So if anybody wants to help us hit that. Chad is going crazy. I don't know why. Oh, Hype Norris is here. Hype Norris, how are you?
Hi.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Moscow, Russia.
From Moscow, Russia. Holy moly! This keeps
Damn.
getting crazier and crazier. What would you like to talk about, Hype Norris?
Well, I just wanted to talk about TSM. We're gonna pick a summer strategy. Reggie said that TSM practiced for spring split less than other teams. So I follow competitive league basically from the beginning, but I never ever heard any team talking about things like, oh, we are so burned out because we practice so much for the spring. And now it's summer and we are done so. Well, personally, I think they can take both splits equally seriously without any problems. So I wonder, what do you guys think about this burnout problem? Does it really exist? Will TSM crush the summer split because they are playing something like 4D chess while others play checkers?
Thank you, Norris. Great question. So I didn't catch this, but I guess it sounds like Reggie said that they were going to try to not get burned out in the spring split so that they ready for summer. Peter, what do you think of the sort of... Sorry, was that it, Hyp Norris?
Basically, I confirmed that Reggie said that they started practicing later than other teams.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So that they didn't get burnt out. So Peter, what do you think of burnout and sort of that whole circumstance? And does it make sense that somebody could be like that? You should try to maybe have like a slower start to your spring because you don't want to get burnt out for the summer.
Is it real? Yeah, I'd say it's like a real thing to think about, but I get like TSM, they have like Bjergsen and Hanser and Sven and Mithy, they all played both splits. They played MSI between like the 1 year before season 7. They played both splits. They played MSI, the full playoffs for both, and they went to Worlds. And then the next season started, and just like me, after Worlds they had 1 month, which sounds like a lot of time off, but for some reason it's not enough. They had 1 month to get ready for the next split before like practice started or whatever. And for me, that 1 month was definitely like, it was rough to just cope with starting so quickly because other teams, like, Team Liquid, they didn't make playoffs. They're playing in relegations and shit. So they were off for like 3 months while I was in playoffs and like going to Worlds and then coming back from that. And it's like, I think it's kind of legit that they started later to like avoid burnout. I think they just kind of give you like that kind of crappy reason, like you said, like, oh, it's to avoid burnout. That's just the reason why we started later. But if they try to use that as an excuse, I didn't see that they did, but if they try to use that as an excuse for like, oh, we didn't try that hard this split, that's why we lost. That's kind of like, that doesn't really make sense because at the end of the split, it's not the team that practiced 1 more week or 2 more weeks that made a difference. It's the team that practiced smarter, like not more time. They just put more effort and energy into it.
Kind of following up on the burnout point, like you can tell me if this is how it was for you, but I imagine that it's not quite like a month completely off either. Like there's a period of time where like you're in discussions with your management, your teams, like other teams around you potentially. You're still thinking about like your future, and it's not quite like I went to Thailand for a month or something always.
Sponsor requests.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like other things pop up. So it's not quite like an actual month off. Plus, like you said, you probably have some time to like almost mourn or grieve the fact that you lost or whatever it is. And there's a whole host of things that you just don't like. 1 month is probably not enough time to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get 3 weeks in, and then your 4th week, you're like, wow, I'm back to another 10 months in 1 week. Well, how am I going to spend this 1 week?
Yeah, but
thank you so much for the call, Hypnor. Sorry we can't have you on longer, but I really appreciate you calling in from Russia. That's crazy.
I was going to ask who we voted for in the U.S. election.
Thank you, Hypnoris.
Once again, can you repeat the question, Kelby?
No, Kelby was just calling in.
I was just making a joke.
Don't worry about it. Thank you, though.
I was making a U.S. politics joke.
I see. Okay. Have a good one.
Oh
Peter?
shit! I turned off Skype.
You did, yeah. Bring your webcam back. We have one more call, and then you can go.
I like that picture of me.
Yeah. Noah.
Gonna leave it for the end.
Noah, thank you so much. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Georgia.
Georgia. Okay, I'm gonna turn you down a little bit. I think last time you called in, because I know you.
Yeah, I had my volume boosted on him too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Congratulations on the upgraded microphone, which I guess is what's occurred since the last time you were on.
I just have it really close to my face.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for calling in. What do you want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about specifically for Doublelift, but I guess it's for everyone too. How do you deal with like the immense pressure you get from like social media and just being so popular in general? I know it's known to sometimes affect performance. I know Sven Skaren's talked about it some, but I just wanted to know how it affects you like day-to-day basis. Is there anything you do differently to try and like mitigate the pressure that you would get from like social media?
I try not to look at it after a loss. Actually, after a while, I just stopped respecting people's opinions that like All right, I stopped caring about people's opinions that I didn't respect. You know, like why do I respect the opinion of like, someone on Twitter? I don't know this person. I don't know like how educated they are. Like, not. I guess education doesn't matter, but like I just don't know them personally. But I do respect. Like I put a lot more stock in, not on social media, but like on the relationships I have with like my friends and my teammates. So like if I can get my teammate to like really respect me and feel like I'm like someone on their side and like we're working to win, then that's like a lot more important to me than before. Before I would just like check Reddit, I'd fucking Google my name every day. I'd be like
I remember that
trying to make
you'd
the next
Google on
highlight
the
video.
League of Legends forums, the old school.
Yeah.
Like when you were living with me, you would search your name on the League of Legends forums and see what people are talking about.
Cause it's insane, dude. It's the first time that I'm famous, and I'm like growing up. I'm fucking like Asian nerd, no friends, like never had a girlfriend. Like now I'm a god. Like to some people, I'm like, oh my god, they think I'm amazing. Like I want to know what they think about me. So
Yeah.
I kept looking it up, and then I think a lot of pros are the same way. They come from the same background as me, like low self-esteem, so they play video games instead of go out and play sports, and then they just kind of luck out or they get the opportunity to be a pro, and then they really take stock in like what people say about them online. But I think it's just with experience, like with like long experience, you get like more wise about it. You don't care as much because after a while, people started shitting on me, and it's like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Yeah, I honestly like nobody really knows what you go through or the intense like all of the shit you do like all the time. I don't think anybody has the experience or anything to judge you or say what you should have done, what you could have done. They don't go through that. So I
It's
don't
like
think
the
any
"I
of the
will
criticism
dominate"
is
statement. You have to be a coach or what challenge or diamond or challenger. or something.
Yeah.
Or an analyst.
Or you
An
can't have an
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
It's pretty true. I would agree with Dom there.
The only people who know what being a pro player is like are pro players. That is literally the exclusive group. Nobody else knows what it takes to get there. Artosis has a great quote about it where like people talk all the time like, oh, if I would have had a break or blah, 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 like I could have gone pro. The only people who know that they could go pro are pro players. There is nobody else outside of that group.
Yeah, and to kind of chime in about like people not having an opinion, I think like the problem is people should have an opinion. Like fans should have a place where they can share their thoughts and stuff. The problem is not that they have that place; it's that it's the same place that pros go to. Like the problem is like if a pro wants to like read about stuff going on in the scene, they go to Reddit or something, and that's the same place where all these people who, like Doublelift said, probably aren't super qualified to have 1,000 upvoted comment, have 1,000 upvoted comment that the pro then sees as like the most common thing. And that's where I think a lot of the like, I don't know, tension or issues come from is like, I think fans should have opinions. Like like that's what makes the sport great.
Yeah.
But it's not on the pros to care.
Right. Yeah. I forget who said it, but someone said like, if you believe somebody when you tell you that if you believe someone when they tell you you're great, you're going to believe them when they tell you you're shit. So like the problem is if you go on Reddit when you're hulking out and you care what people think and it actually gives you like that endorphin kick or whatever the fuck, dopamine, that you're great. Like when you go there later and you played bad and they shit on you, you're going to get the exact same opposite feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so addictive too. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna plug Mark Zimmerman. There should be more content around. I feel like there's not enough analytical content like the Blame Game that Mark Zimmerman had. It was so good. I watched that every single episode because I actually felt like I was learning what's going on behind the scenes, not just like specific instances, and it felt like I actually was understanding who was what was at fault and not who was. It felt like I was getting it from an analyst perspective. I don't think there's enough out there. All we see is Reddit, which is completely trash, honestly.
Very good. Well, hey, thank you. Oh, sorry if you had something, Mark.
Oh, I had a follow-up for Doublelift because he was saying like you can only learn this through experience or whatever, and I think to an extent that's true. But is there any like shortcut you would give if there's like a young pro, like to avoid some of the same pitfalls that feels like a lot of them go through?
Yeah, I think rookies usually you don't come out and you shit on everyone unless you're Mike Young, and then like look at what happens. Like you see every rookie goes through this phase where like they have this confidence problem. I swear it's happening with Licorice right now. it happened with Mike Young early in the split. It might still be happening. Like every rookie has this problem. It's because when they start playing, they do that shit. Where they go on Reddit and they're like, "Oh my god, I wonder if people think I'm good." You know, I wonder like, I'm gonna take stock in this in their opinion, and then like, when they start playing bad, you'll inevitably have like bad time, and it just snowballs so hard. So just don't do it. I guess you don't need to go through it to avoid it, but you need a lot of willpower to just be like, I'm not gonna check Twitter or Reddit after every game and read what people had to say about me. It's fucking hard.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Noah, for the call-in. Really appreciate it, as always.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too.
All right, everyone. So it is just past 10 o'clock. We told Peter he would only have to be on until then, and he did it. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much,
Thanks
Peter,
for coming on, Peter. It was
coming
fun.
on.
It was fun. I'll see you guys on Sea of Thieves.
Wait.
Wait, what about you gotta do your shout outs, man. And
Yeah.
listen to Kelby
We
stupid
quick
shout-out.
round, really quickly. Doublelift, do you have any shout outs? Anything you want to say?
Alienware Ballistics, HyperX, Monster.
You clearly don't have me as your manager anymore.
And and anyone I forgot. Oh, shit. You put me on the spot. Alienware Ballistics, HyperX, Monster.
Kelby, do you know them?
I don't manage those accounts, so.
Damn it. I'm forgetting one, but I love you more. I love you more than the rest. No, it's not that. Okay, whatever. Thank you guys. And thanks to all the viewers and fans. And thanks for having me on. Peace.
Trying to
Wait,
figure out what it is.
I have a question, Doublelift.
Yeah.
What?
You gone? Okay, no. So this is my shout out. I've been trying to. I told Prawley this. I'm gonna do like a Dunzo man. I want to do a Dunzo manifesto kind of shoot where we just get players.
Oh, you won't get Peter. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, so I want to get players, and I want to like get them in, like just get them drunk, put some cameras on them, and just let them shoot the shit about the season and like what's gone right or wrong and stuff like that. And it won't be live, so people don't need to worry about like what they say or anything like that. And just get groups of people. So like I want to get like a Korean episode, a jungler episode, an ex-TSM episode or something. Do you think pro players would ever do this? My guess is like 2%
Like
chance.
unfiltered?
Unfiltered, and like the idea is that because all of you guys are talking shit, it's not like one interview where one quote's getting pulled, and because it's not live, it'll get edited down, and hopefully all you guys just say some funny shit over the course of it, and it's just the chance for you guys to be like, man, you know what, Mike Young and Sven are there, and they're both just like, yeah, playing with Bjerg's fucking hard, dude, something like that, like whatever it is. I don't know what people are gonna say.
That's gonna really burn some bridges.
No, but it's gonna be within the context of like a whole other thing where other people talk about like a million different things.
I just don't think, like, Peter, my point is I can never do.
Pick out little bits of that. I feel like even if it was just that, even if it was like, yeah, it's pretty hard to play with Bjergsen. It's like even if you say it in a joking way, Bjergsen. If I was Bjergsen, I would be like, man, what are you doing?
Well, then Bjergsen gets his episode with Jensen. They're both like, dude, our junglers suck dick.
Holy shit, let's go.
Peter,
yeah, maybe if it's lighthearted the whole time.
Yeah,
I don't think that I could do a drunk state of the league anymore, like I used to.
Yeah, but I'm saying
that's
State
my
of the League
argument
was
for why
live,
this wouldn't
dude.
work.
State of the League was live. And also, I'm not going to go through any management. I'm going to personally just kidnap players and do this so that no one knows. Twitch chat's on my side. They're not going to tell anybody.
This sounds like a good idea, Mark.
Thanks, dude.
This sounds like an idea that might get you a lot of views. I don't know.
I don't even care about the views, dude. I'm not trying to post this on my channel or anything. I'll put it under whoever wants it. They don't have to pay or anything. I just want some shit talk back in the scene. That's what I want. Some good old shit talk, like the glory days.
Right.
Oh, it's just it would be so hard to not like, because you want it to be organic. You want it to be something raw, but it's gonna be so hard to like not go overboard, I guess.
But it's not live, so hopefully we can cut it to a place where the people involved are like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
If they're drunk, they're gonna be like, cut this whole thing. I'm too embarrassed by it.
Whatever. Then we all just got drunk and talked shit anyway. It'll be fun.
Just gonna splice it like every half second. Splice like Bjergsen is the greatest. It's like, all right, nice episode.
Yeah. 3 more minutes, Peter. Kelby, your shoutouts?
I already shouted out the Chainsmokers. I don't think I really have any shoutouts, to be honest. Shoutouts to Peter for coming on the episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
Being a good friend.
Kelby, thanks for inviting me, man. I really wanted to be on the show for so long, but you were the one who got me on. I appreciate that.
Mark, do you have any shout-outs?
No, I used my time already.
All right, everyone, thanks for watching. I'm going to post the giveaway link in Twitch chat if you guys can go check out that giveaway. That'd be super cool. There's a podcast version of this on iTunes and Google Play. I always forget to say that at the beginning of the show. Thank you so much to Peter for coming on. I actually really do appreciate it, even if he was a pain in the ass about it. And thanks to everyone else. It's another Hotline League all wrapped up.